Welcome back to 10 Cents Podcast. My name is Michael Beck with Adam Nielsen,
Hi.
Mr. Robbie Veerhout. What is up, you filthy animals?
Oh. Whoa.
Hey, I got called out for doing the same thing over and over again every week.
Did you?
So, yeah, I did.
Awesome.
So
Makes me happy.
I'm mixing.
So you're just calling us names. That's fine.
People don't like change,
That's whatever.
Michael.
So now I'm going to get called out for... I'm probably going to get called out.
How dare you change?
Well, I don't know what to do now.
Nah, I give up.
Do I do the same thing next week?
It's the internet. You're never going to win.
You're always wrong. Your car always sucks.
I'm fully aware that I'm always wrong. I've been thoroughly told that I am incorrect in everything that I do.
For the last year and a few months, we've been wrong.
He's had a
everything.
girlfriend. He's well aware of how wrong he can be.
You are incorrect.
Yeah, I really like that topic you had, but you're wrong.
But you're wrong about these 16
You're
things
wrong about
that I
everything.
had time to search Wikipedia to find the right answers for.
Yeah,
It's whatever.
whatever.
real
I don't care if I'm
journalism.
wrong.
Yeah, we I feel like we bring more to the table than we take off the table. Let's put it that way.
I just find it funny when people use that hashtag talking to us. It makes me giggle.
I get it.
It caught
It's a
on.
thing.
It did. And it was kind of meant to be a troll at the beginning, and now it's kind of
It's caught on.
actually,
It's a thing.
And I don't even think he knows. So
No.
it's whatever.
it's all good. Should we get rolling on this show?
With,
should.
We
Adam's opener.
We should start with Adam's opener, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Presented by Eyes Up Auto Art.
So this week I brought show and tell, which is great for an audio only medium.
Yep.
But we'll post pictures. Robbie will post pictures to our Instagram. I'll probably throw some up on Facebook, so you should go
YouTube.
and look at them and definitely hit that follow button while you're there.
What you got there?
Look at that. See what I did? So I finally got my car running again. Figured out my ignition issue. I got some more lighted pictures for you, Robbie. I'll send them to you.
Sweet.
So I replaced the Unalite chip inside of my distributor, and I opened up my distributor and realized that this is very messed up. So when the rotor spins around in here, it's really like wore it down. Check that out, Robbie. And
So I
look
guess for people that aren't on YouTube or looking at stuff, they're just listening. It's basically just a little module. It's kind of semicircular.
Semicircular.
Yep, kind of quarter of a
Sits
circle.
inside the
Crescent
distributor.
moon shaped, if you will.
Yep, it's red. Says Mallory on it. It's got a little sensor that sticks up.
Little LED and a little sensor, and the rotor just spins around between those two. And every time there's a slot that passes on the rotor, the sensor picks up the LED and tells the coil to fire a cylinder. So if you look at it, clearly there's a lot of rubbing from the rotor
So
on there.
There's a bit of interference going on.
Yeah. So look, you see the wires, how they're stripped out, or how one of those wires is wore through to the copper.
It cut the wire.
So that sits inside the distributor.
Yeah.
And then there's, the shaft that comes up through the middle of the distributor. Yes.
Hold on.
Robbie.
Do that again.
No, I'm not doing
Make that hand
one
gesture.
can-
No,
no
I'm
one
not
can-
making the hand gesture.
No one can see what
No.
you did.
Do
but I
this.
want-
What was this?
No, I'm just going to sit on my
Were you-
hands for
were
the
you
rest of the
skiing?
show.
Possibly?
Yeah,
I was skiing.
You were
Yes,
one-handed
that's
skiing,
exactly
I think
what
is
I was
what you were doing.
You were cupping something in a
Actually,
vertical motion.
you know what? I bet he was churning butter. That's what
exactly.
he was doing. Yep.
All right. Now you were churning butter.
So the rotor sits on top of that. Well, I guess cap technically.
Totally lost his.
Yeah, I'm gone now. So
Churning butter will do that
the
to
hole
people.
that the wires come out of the housing, the distributor housing on, when this sits in the distributor, the wires are on the opposite side of the housing.
Yeah.
So the wires have to cross. I mean, they're right next to the housing here on, as it sits.
Yeah.
They could have just drilled a hole right there and had them exit stage left, and this would have been fine. But no, they make you go all the way across the distributor and exit stage right. And so you have to be very careful to get just enough slack in there that they're not rubbing against the shaft that's spinning in the middle.
Phrasing.
But not too much slack that it rubs against the rotor that's spinning around above it,
So it clearly hit it.
which I was not successful with. But if they would have just made this go out the opposite side of the housing, right next to where these wires are to begin with, this wouldn't have been an issue. Because I wouldn't have had to clear the shaft. I would have just had to make sure I didn't have too much slack in there to hit the rotor cap, and this wouldn't have been a problem.
But you replaced it.
I replaced it. There's a brand new one in there now. I was reading through their little pamphlet they send with you, or send with. Obviously, this is well outside of the 90-day warranty because I've had it in the car for 2 years. But they do have a thing where they will rebuild it. They have a minimum and a maximum cost for the rebuild, which is less than what it would cost to buy a new one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this one in to have it rebuilt and just throw it in my toolkit that goes with the car.
And they're not going to respond to you and say, no.
No, they'll fix it.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
They have to see them look like that all the time.
Yeah, I
bet
suppose
they
you're
look
not.
like
You
this
can't
all
be
the
the first
time.
person to.
Yeah.
But so then the rotor or cap, it's two pieces. It's the disc that spins through the light source,
Yeah.
and then the piece that attaches to the shaft, and those two separate pieces are glued together, and that has come loose. The glue has broke apart. Why are they two separate pieces?
I would tell you it's a cost savings, but it's not because it's two pieces. I don't know. I don't have a good answer.
It's not just that this is an old distributor, and so I have old parts, because those are brand new parts I bought when I bought the car like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So why? It's just there's a lot of really stupid, poorly designed, poorly engineered parts in this.
We are never
from
going to get
start to
sponsored by
finish.
Mallory.
It's whatever.
Or MSD, because I think MSD owns Mallory
Yeah,
now.
they do.
So
They
now
own,
we're
they
super
own
screwed.
like everything. But there's just a lot of stupid. This drives me nuts.
That's
'cause-
old. I mean, that's kind of old tech, right?
It is
That
old
just kind of
school.
kept.
So this
going.
this chip would be the same one that you would have if you had a Unilite distributor in your Camaro.
Yeah, from
Just
the
because this
late
is a
70s.
4-cylinder, they still use the same
right?
chip.
Yeah.
They just have a different
Because all it's doing
cap
is
and rotor.
it's not break. Well, it's in theory it's breaking a light beam,
Yeah.
and creating an
rotor is.
opening, so that it knows when to fire. That's all it's
Yep.
really doing.
So this is just picking up,
just
you
a
know, is
trigger.
projecting and picking up that light.
Yep.
So this is the same module that goes in all Unilite distributors.
right.
And so I'm assuming that all of them are probably like this.
Same problems. Yeah,
So
probably true.
there's a bunch of little things that they could have easily changed, and I wouldn't be sitting here bitching about it right now.
Sorry, man.
But car runs great.
That's good.
It's been driving it to work.
I drove it to work 2 days in a row this week through the thunderstorms and tornado warnings. Turns out those tires are actually pretty good in the rain. I was very excited.
What are
about
they
it.
again?
The new Falcon 615K Plus. They're 200 tread wear.
Nice.
They're not like the hot tire to have, but they're supposed to be a little bit longer lasting than the hot tire, so that's why I went with them.
Yeah,
But they do pretty well in the rain. I was pretty happy with
that's
them.
good. You're still not going to autocross in the rain, though, right?
Don't really want to. I mean, I'm not going to autocross in the cold rain. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
No.
But you have the potential where you could race in
I
the
probably
rain.
would now.
Yeah. But
The
before
thing is,
we
like,
had the
everybody's
slicks.
like, "Oh, it's so much fun to race in the rain," you know, or like drifting around stuff. Like, well, that sounds great if I was in a Miata, but I'm in a front wheel drive Omni, and that's just not that much fun anymore.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this before. I don't need to beat a dead horse, but a lot of those people that show up have like street cars. So you can get in there and you can turn your heat on in your heated seat and, oh, this is great. And you just sit there and hang out until your run happens. That we don't. None of us have that luxury. So
Not even a little
Well,
bit.
even if my chassis was rear wheel drive, like the Fiat, I think would be kind of fun in the rain because it's rear wheel drive but doesn't have a ton of horsepower.
Yeah.
It's not like Robbie's car where each second you hit the gas on dry pavement, you're smoking tires, let alone in the rain. So that would probably be really shitty. But like with the Fiat that just barely has enough power to get out of its own way, much like the Omni, I don't think driving in the rain would be that bad. It might be kind of fun. You get a little bit of, sliding around, some opposite lock. It'd be kind of fun as long as it's not cold.
yeah, when it's cold, it ruins.
When it's cold, it ruins it no matter
ruins
what.
the whole experience.
But in a front wheel drive car like my Omni,
you just push and it's no,
I just
no
push.
fun.
It's just not fun for anybody. Then everyone's got to go chase cones. I'm that guy. I'm pushing. I'm not having any fun. I'm not going fast. What's the point?
Nah, I get it. Maybe these will be better though. Maybe you should do it and then report back.
I would like to race them in the rain because I've never actually raced in the rain with that car because I never bothered.
Well, and yeah, your options were very limited
'Cause I had
before
slicks.
with the slicks, definitely.
Yeah. So I would probably take the opportunity to race in the rain now just because I'd like to do it once. But I would be shocked if I decide that this was great and make sure
I'm gonna
to
do
hit
it every
all
single
rain
time.
events I can from then on out.
Yeah, I'm with you. Is anybody racing this weekend?
I was supposed to. It's not looking promising though.
Were you supposed to race Saturday? Is that the problem?
I'm supposed to tune tomorrow at noon, and then there's drag races at night, and then autocross Saturday. But there's a pretty decent sized storm coming in.
Were you gonna actually drag race?
They have a test and tune Friday night.
Yep, street legals or whatever they call
Street
it.
legal
Who's
test and
that?
tunes. Thunder Valley Dragway in Marion, South Dakota.
Oh, so you were gonna go. You
It's
were
a
kind of serious
full
about drag
quarter
racing.
mile drag race. I took
okay.
my Omni there 2 years ago.
Oh,
raced Josh, beat him by .018 seconds. Probably the closest and slowest race of the night.
How many seconds was that? Were you in the 15s?
I don't even think we were in that. Give me a second. Keep talking.
You think it was
Robbie.
slower than that?
Keep talking, Robbie.
Okay. Anyway, so Robbie, you're racing maybe this
I'm
weekend.
potentially. It looks like drag racing is definitely out of the question.
Okay.
And then autocross is still a big maybe.
Questionable.
It looks like it's supposed to rain at least in the morning, and it's gotten worse as the week's gone on.
I think I'm gonna race on Sunday at Oskaloosa, just because I missed the whole Iowa Speedway thing that never happened.
Yep.
I don't think we ever said anything about that, but that got canceled for rain.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, that's right, we did talk about that. We talked about water standing on the track. So Yep. So I'm hoping we can race at the Oskaloosa Airport on Sunday. I think the weather's actually supposed to be good. Did you find your ET?
Yeah, you're not going to be very proud about this.
Is it 16?
I don't even want to. Yeah, it is. It's a pretty deep 16.
Ooh.
I ran a 16.5.
Hell yeah.
So that was before I had better motor mounts in it, and shifting was all but impossible.
Oh, I remember that.
One time, the first time I did it, I missed fourth entirely, and the second time I did it, I hit second, and then I just said, you know what, let's just call this good. But I ran a 16.5, Josh ran a 16.7.
So you're telling me, what you're telling me is an 80s Dodge four-cylinder car, front-wheel drive,
Yep.
that can't shift, is still faster down a drag strip than a Miata.
That's exactly what it's telling you.
So
Then an NA Miata? Not meaning naturally aspirated, but meaning, was it an NA?
yeah, that was Josh's.
The first
That was
Miata.
Josh's bone stock 1.8. Made 110 horse to the wheels.
Not even the small engine, the bigger engine.
Yep, made 110 horse to the wheels. I made 120.
I'm trolling.
But
Josh
he weighed
just
less.
a little bit.
He weighed
bit.
less than I did.
It doesn't matter anymore because he's got a turbocharged.
Yeah, now he runs
Yeah.
like a 12.7, and I don't even. I wouldn't
that's
even bother.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Actually.
So
12.7.
I destroyed his 60 foot and his 8th mile, but then he back half the shit out of me, and
So maybe he didn't hook up.
if it would have been another like probably 60 foot worth of racetrack, he probably
He would have had you.
beat me.
Yeah,
What was the trap speed? Do you have that?
Yeah, I ran 81.01 and he was 82.8.
Oh, so he was coming after you.
Yeah, he was coming on. He was, I mean, yeah. He drilled me on the tree too because I suck at reaction times.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
Yeah,
but
he
my
was,
60 foot was a lot better than his was.
he was calling me out this week, telling me like, "Oh, you got to beat a 12.7. You got to be there and beat me." And
I would love to see your two cars lined up next to each other.
my biggest thing is
tomorrow
my
night.
7-inch wide tires. The hardest thing would be launching.
Oh,
I
definitely.
did it with my autocross slicks, which don't really like being launched on.
Nope,
But I figured it was better than the street tires I had because they were like
that was exactly what I was thinking.
20-year-old 400 treads that were on that car when I got it. So I still did it with the slicks. I spun all the way through first and second. I think that there's a lot in that car. I think that I'm sure I could get it well down into the 15s if I spent some time drag racing or cared. I just don't.
Well, we know the chassis has a lot of potential because doesn't somebody have one that runs a 9 right now?
Yeah, there's a guy that's ran 9s multiple times and runs it in drag week every year. Has ran a 9 in drag week.
Is it what is it, turbocharged or?
Yes, he has a GLHS. So it's I think his is the 2.5. It could be the 2.2 though. Giant turbo,
Right.
wild, crazy thing. It's still a manual car though, because they're the
Damn.
significantly stronger transmission.
But it's a stock transmission.
I would
You
guess
can't
he
say.
probably has a diff, but I think that they're the stock gears set and stuff like that.
That's kind of crazy.
They're really strong. So
Interesting. Robbie, did you have any other project car updates?
No, I changed my gauges to autometers.
Is
Now
it-
I have accurate gauges.
Is it more better?
Oh, they're accurate. They
What
tell
were
me.
what were those gauges that were in there?
X-Tunes, some cheap eBay tuner crap that I just wanted something to tell me what the temperature was.
And we talked about they hunt all over the place.
Oh yeah, they would change with the beat of the music.
Hell yeah.
I knew they were obviously telling me wrong temperatures, that saying it was too hot. I'm like, well, I'm clearly not running at 300 degrees, so
Jesus.
pretty confident in that one. So then I hooked it up to an OBD2 just on my phone. I was like, well, I'm sitting at 150 degrees.
Oh, you can do that now, can't you?
Yeah, gauge says 300, so
This is not helpful
this
information.
piece of shit. So I had a good deal on autometers and replaced those. Redid the carbon fiber bezel.
Panel thing.
Yep. So I have accurate gauges, and they don't jump around with the music, and the temperatures are actually what they're supposed to be. and my engine has pressure according to my gauges now.
Oil
Oh, that's right. You were a little freaked out about that.
My oil
'cause-
pressure was like dead zero all the time.
Oh, was it that low?
No.
Oh, I thought it was like 20.
No,
That would
it
freak-
used to be 20.
Man,
now
I'd
it's-
be freaked out if I had high temps and no oil pressure. I'd be like, "Fuck it, I'm not driving."
Parking it. You
Yeah.
can tow that bad boy home.
But I guess you could. Like you
I
said,
knew
you could,
better.
You could
I
see
knew
it.
better,
Yeah, you
but-
could see it with the OBD2.
Yep.
Obviously.
So.
So, and then tune on Friday.
Tunes on Friday.
Okay.
Hopefully,
What's the number, Robbie? This is a problem with tuning. The internet is going to need to know.
I don't have a damn clue.
So you got to so
I'll just
LS1 with a cam, a ridiculous cam, like a 0.6 lift cam.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a big cam.
And
I don't
then
even-
headers, intake.
Headers, intake.
That's it though, right? I mean, that's
Yep.
kind of
Well,
basically
I don't know what you did to like the push rods and the springs and the valves and shit.
you'd have you should replace the springs if you're going to.
Yeah, they're definitely replaced, but I don't know
Yeah,
what
it's
they
a
are.
full aftermarket valve train.
Yeah, Texas Performance, whatever. I'm not sure what's all in it.
So you got a
There
number.
may
then?
or may not be some head work. It's hard to say.
You got a number. The internet. You know how the internet is with
Take a
dynos
guess,
and
Robbie.
fucking. They're going to want to know.
Just say like 250, and then you can.
Yeah, because you're like, man, this is amazing.
330. I don't know. Let's ballpark it at.
What's it make stock? Do we have any idea? Like,
Stock at the wheels.
roughly.
At the wheels.
Sure.
LS1 2002.
Yeah, out of a
Just
Camaro.
a normal SS Camaro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or Z28 Camaro.
Yep.
Let's say at the wheels, let's say 265 at the wheels though.
270.
And that's a
then,
little
for
bit
Sure, at least
a little bit
270.
yeah, 270 is probably a pretty safe number for you, Robbie.
Yep, we'll say that.
270.
We'll match my my SR20 numbers with 325. Yep.
Is that what it made?
Yep. So I
bet
got
it's-
to beat 325.
I'll put a number out there.
Yeah,
At the wheels.
You know your LS wants.
I don't know about that, but I'll put a number out there. I will say 365 at the wheels. But your curve is going to be
Yeah,
so much
your
better.
power
my
under-
torque,
or
my
your-
torque curve.
It's gonna be
Your
so
power
much
under
better.
The curve is going to be so much better.
So that number is not that much bigger than the SR, but it's going to be so much more linear.
It's a totally different drive.
Yeah, it's
so
just going
much
to be
more usable.
so different. You got a number, Adam?
I don't know anything about anything there. You said what? 365?
I said 365. You said 325.
I'm just 326. I got to beat my
You gotta,
SR20.
there's got to be a reason you've spent the last 2 years fucking with that car.
All right, I'm going to go. With 370.
All right. Well, if it's
I have
higher
faith
than
in
that,
you,
Adam
Rob.
wins.
That's
He's the
true.
winner.
Winner has to drink this kombucha shit.
No,
I'm not drinking
any
that.
of that.
It's good for you.
I don't
was that?
care what
If
it is.
anybody's
Fermented tea?
if anybody's curious, it's fermented tea. Yeah,
He's
it's
drinking alcohol.
marginally alcoholic. It's got like half a percentage.
Do you have to be 21 to buy it?
No, apparently you don't.
Oh.
It's like non-alcoholic beer. Like there's
still
a
some
little bit in
alcohol
there,
in it.
but it would take.
Don't you have to
A
still be
truckload.
at least 18 to buy that, though?
I don't know.
The
I've
beer
never
you
bought
might
it.
have to because of like the look
name?
of it.
Oh, duels.
Yeah, and there might be some. It probably depends on your state. Maybe we'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
So anyway,
Well, then I don't have another project update, but it's just I could tell you about how awesome my day was on Tuesday.
yeah, it sounds like you were doing some pretty cool shit.
Got home, changed. I was like, Jess, if you make dinner, I'll change the oil in your edge. That
Seems fair.
Seems like a fair deal.
Fair
And clearly
trade.
I got the raw end of the stick on this.
You didn't think so because you were thinking,
was
"Oh,
like,
I'm just gonna
"Ah."
throw it up on the ramps,
No, not a big
change
deal.
the oil. I'll be back upstairs before she's even done boiling the water or whatever it is you do to cook."
She did make pasta. So
See,
how do you know?
Do you do that in the microwave?
No, or on a pizzazz.
you can't do it on a pizza pizzazz. I'm
So
still so
I'm
pissed
out
about
then.
that fucking
I'm
pizza
out.
pizzazz. Anyway,
So I do the oil change.
yep.
Drop the oil, change the filter, fill it back up. As then I'm taking my waste oil and I'm going to dump it into the tank that I'm going to bring to Advanced Auto Parts to get rid of.
Right.
And then I trip over my light cord.
Yep.
And I spill at least a quart of it onto the floor.
That's a lot of oil.
That's
That's a lot of old oil too.
Not in a good mood at this point. So I get it all cleaned up, get it all dumped away, go upstairs, grab the keys to her car. Yeah, because she had them in her purse. And then start it up, leave the keys in the center console, and then make sure didn't leave anything loose, check the oil, just make sure nothing's
Yep,
dripping. Because
wrapping it up, basically.
I've been burned on that before where the seal stuck to the thing and I had
Yep.
two seals.
Yep, and it started blowing out of the oil filter.
So I've been paranoid for the last 8 years about that.
Yep.
So I
That's fair.
checked it, and then I walked back up to it, and the fucking proximity key locked itself. So I have a running car in my garage for a fucking hour.
The other thing I was thinking about when you said that is that your furnace, so the thing that supplies air to the rest of your house, intakes out of
that was
the garage.
off. That was completely off
Right,
because it was
that's
nice
true.
out.
That's true. Okay. But that's what I thought of when I saw that text. I was like, all of his air comes from his garage for his whole house.
Yep. So I had to call AAA and be like, hey,
I need some
fast
help,
as possible,
like
please.
really quickly.
Yep. So
that wasn't it though, because didn't you have to change the oil on the
then I changed
240 also?
I changed the oil on the 240 and the Maxima the next day, and that was after the power went out because we were supposed to be recording a podcast, and then I'm sitting there for a half hour going, I am freaking bored.
Yeah, so we had on Wednesday when we normally record, we had a really nasty flash, thunderstorm, almost tornado thing.
Did you lose power here?
No.
Because my girlfriend's friend that she stays at while we're doing this crap, she's just a couple blocks down the street. She didn't have power.
Weird.
That's weird
So
because
you just barely missed it. Then.
I went to a PT appointment in West Des Moines this morning. They didn't have power.
You just barely missed out on it.
Depends on who you were. You either without power for 2 hours or 4 hours. So
That's
I
weird.
was without for 2 hours. So then
My dad has a buddy that was told that they should expect to be without power for at least 3 days.
Oh, my
my
goodness.
God.
He lives in Nebraska.
That
Apparently,
sucks.
they snapped off poles just one after the other.
that's crazy.
So
So anyway, you were home, bored,
Yep,
not
so-
doing the podcast.
Well, I was just reading a book for like a half hour, and I'm looking outside. I was like, it's daylight. I'm gonna go do something. So then I changed the oil in the Maxima, and I did that with a flashlight, and that had no issues. That went better than the Edge. And then I changed the oil in the 240, and it filters out through the baffles, so it takes just shy of forever. So then it kind of sits funny. So I had the whole car like tipped up and moving. It still took way too long. And then with the LS, it just felt like there's more oil somewhere, so it just kept
just
dripping.
kept coming out?
and never stopped dripping.
Was it dead cold? Was it dead cold?
No, it was. I mean, it wasn't hot by any means, but it was
A little warm?
a little warm. Still just
Some of that
kept trickling.
viscosity was down.
Yep. Well, then of course I have half a quart more than my oil pan allows for, so I have to do it in like 2 different
oh
spurts.
god, my
Frustrating.
Omni likes to develop a valve tick if we have too many left hand corners, even if it has perfectly
yeah.
good. Like, full of oil, it just likes to tick real bad if we have too many left-hand corners in our autocross that day. So I put that Lucas Oil stabilizer in there.
Hell yeah.
Talk about taking forever to drain.
Oh, yeah. How much did you put in
wow.
I put the whole bottle in.
there? Oh, you did.
That's what it says to do.
I know.
I didn't realize you had to put that much in.
I know that's what it said. I usually put like half a bottle max.
Well, I
Not
don't-
saying that you shouldn't put the whole bottle in there, but
Well, because of what I was trying to get it to accomplish,
Right.
the reason I'm using it, I feel like I need to use all of it.
no, I'm
you
with
know?
you. Have you ever touched that stuff, Robbie?
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
like-
on everything.
It's
You
like
touch it.
syrup.
It
You
is.
touch 2 fingers together, and all of a sudden this hand's got stuff on it.
And
How did that even
and
get
it's all
there?
strung together too. So like if you stuck it between your hands and pull it
It's
apart,
bad
it'd just be
enough
string.
pouring it into the engine, but when you pour it back out,
It just takes forever. That's funny.
God.
That's funny.
That's all I got.
I don't have much. I got an alignment scheduled for the RX-7, and then boom, donezo. Might finish that exhaust, but that's about it.
And we'll see it on the road.
Oh shit! I wouldn't be too worried about driving it if the rear end alignment was who knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get a
happens.
little sketchy about rear end alignments, but so I want to at least get that checked, and then should be good.
I also found out that my tires are wide enough that when I go full lock, it touches my front bumper just enough to leave a mark.
Make a noise. Oh, to make
It leaves a mark on the fiberglass. And I was hoping
cut that out.
I might have to. I mean, they're going to, because according to the SCC XP rules, I think I have to run with a bumper cover on.
Yeah, I think locally they might just let you do it.
Yeah,
but
if I'm not competitive, then who cares? But
that's kind of lame.
You won't be competitive on packs anyway.
oh yeah, not even
because
not a
X
chance.
prepared class rules.
This is like the
or
worst
X
packs you
prepared.
can get.
Yeah, it's about as bad as they come. So you'll be all right. No one will care.
Okay. Well, I'll see how it runs.
Is
Whatever.
that it?
That's all I got.
It's basically the longest Adams opener.
Oh yeah, it was Adam's opener.
It was
Plus all
the
this other
biggest.
crap
It
we were
was
gonna
the
talk
biggest
about.
Adams opener, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know
that
what
we've
you
ever
mean.
done.
It was big.
Make sure to check out Eyes Up Auto Art. That's EYES Up Auto Art. You can catch him on Instagram and Facebook. I think he's got a Twitter account as well. You see, he had like this really sweet. Let me see if I can find this here. I'm on his Instagram right now.
The GTO. Is that what you're talking
Well,
about?
The
there was
GTO is
the
cool.
GTO
The
is
GTO is
sweet.
sweet.
He had this R. Well, I guess it's just an R. It's not an R32 anymore.
Golf
but
R?
R Golf. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty sweet. There's
That's his,
this one. This one right
Facebook
here.
picture right now.
Boom. The R34.
Yeah, that's
Not to
awesome.
be confused with the Golf R that we just talked about. This one was really cool too. So anyway, check out his social media. If you have any questions about pricing or anything like that, just shoot him a message on any of those social media pages, and he will get back to you. Everything is very reasonable, and like I said last time, makes for a pretty sweet gift for yourself or for others. So check that out. Boom. What do we got to do? We got to do our socials.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. If you can't figure out how to find it, I can't help you.
Just search it.
Search 10 Tenths Podcast.
Just do it. Just go to Google and search 10 Tenths. It's the first thing that
You mean
pops
like
up, basically.
Shia LaBeouf, just do it?
Just do it.
do it!
If you're thinking about
Yesterday
it, just do
you
it.
said you were going to do it. Oh,
Now
sorry.
do
Okay.
it.
Oh, no.
Anyway. Check out the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. More content coming on that. If you can be a little patient with us. Well, we try to get some bugs worked out.
Kind of busy.
I'm kind of busy
it
right
hard.
now.
Then it's like rains and stuff. What's
It's
this
been
rain?
raining a lot.
So it'd be a lot easier if we didn't have jobs. That's the real drag, you know?
Right. Yeah.
You know how much more content we could do if I didn't have to work 50 hours
Yeah,
a week?
exactly. It was at least a reasonable day today. Could have been out shooting.
Yep. But no.
But no.
Had to just work for the man.
Exactly. I totally lost my train of thought. I had somewhere else I was going to go. Oh, go to the store. Check out everything we have to offer
I
there.
just ordered some shirts.
10tenthspodcast.com.
Ready for the season.
Get ready for the Life of Grid,
Yep.
which is coming up soon.
Oh, we'll be there.
We'll
Ratings,
be there.
reviews.
Ratings and reviews, which we don't talk about very often on the iTunes
They make
or
me
on the
really
Facebook.
happy. We got them on Facebook, too. Don't forget there.
I think that's it.
I think that's too.
We need to move on because we have a list
big
that we
list.
need to address. We did an ask. Well, it's not an ask me anything.
Ask us.
Ask
Ask us anything, which we hadn't done for quite some time, and we got a big list.
I feel
Where do we
like
want to start?
These are kind of cheating, but I like them. They're so easy.
Yeah, because people give you stuff to talk about for like
I
an
don't
hour.
have to come up with things to talk about.
Right, exactly. No, I'm with you 100%. Who wants to start? Robbie, you got Instagram stuff over
I got the
there?
Instagram stuff we can
I
start
got
with.
them all pulled up, too, so whatever.
Start with that.
Do you want me to list the names of people?
You goddamn right.
How
Let's give them
about,
some
how about
credit.
at least, well, on Instagram you could do handles, right?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
handles.
give
Yeah,
them
let's
some
do
credit.
that. Let's do that.
All right. This one comes from Love the French Fries.
Hell yeah.
Why don't you guys burn more rubber?
Because
I'm
tires are
I'm
expensive.
not made of money.
man.
Well, I think we also addressed that it's been raining and we haven't been able to film anything.
Well, I burned a little rubber on your driveway when it was raining.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, which nobody saw.
There's a picture.
There's not.
Not a picture of you
There's a
burning
picture
rubber.
that you took getting out of the car to take a picture of the car. That doesn't count.
Well, I also realized how low my tires are when it comes to tread life, and I'd like to go at least one more season on them.
Your which tires?
All of them.
Are you talking about
Every
your
single
RS3s
vehicle.
that are 3 years old?
Every vehicle I have
Oh my
needs
goodness.
tires.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
The Edge needs tires, which has the sport
They're
rims that
like
are
22s.
22s by like 3.
285.
Ah, they're so
30,
big.
22
They're so big and expensive.
for no reason because
No.
it doesn't need that much grip.
Nope.
Have you seen?
So thanks a lot, Ford.
Speaking about, because we rant on about trucks and unnecessariness on trucks. Do you see that like all of Chevy's new tires are like 285, 55, 20s now?
My
and
S10
18s?
is the widest tires of anything I own. Why?
Your S10 does?
My S10 has wider tires than even my slicks
What's
were.
the first number?
It's a 2 still, but
What? No, I mean, what's the whole number?
no,
Two,
it's a. I think they're 235s on the S10
yeah, it sounds about
from
right.
the factory. That's wider than what my TT had with double the horsepower.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Well, I don't
know what
yeah.
we were talking about. What were we talking about?
Burning rubber.
Oh, 'cause-
Although I did find a set of rims with tires on for drifting.
did you? Did you buy them?
They're in Sioux Falls. I might pick them up this weekend.
Hells yes, Robbie.
Then it'll be burning some rubber.
Then I'll be burning rubber.
Oh, there's a question coming about this later, so never mind.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm
Let's
not
not
gonna
go
say
there.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, if we get more time to shoot things for YouTube, we'll burn more rubber.
Definitely.
Tires are expensive and I'm poor. That's my main
That's
reason.
just tires are expensive in
That's
general.
my primary reason for not doing burnouts
I get it.
on a regular basis.
Hey,
If
you a
Goodyear,
burnout.
if
Buy
Goodyear,
my tires.
Listen, I'll make a list. Goodyear, Michelin, Firestone, Bridgestone, Nexon,
Hankook.
Kuma. I don't care who it is. Federal. You
Federal.
know, if you want to contact us and let us know, you know, you like to kick us some tires.
Oh, we'll burn
We'll do
all the
burnouts.
tires.
Yeah, exactly.
Next question is from Zach's RX-7.
Oh,
When is Michael going to rice out the RX-7?
I give it a year.
I do,
I'm-
I do not give it a year. I give it a month.
No, I haven't. I want to get through like the functional period, make sure everything's functional, and then I'm putting a wang on it for sure.
You do realize that
Full
I have
wang.
a spare big wang.
I know. I just I haven't gotten there yet, Robbie.
You can just like have it.
I'll be over this weekend. No, wait, you're gone this weekend. Next weekend, I'll come get it.
We'll get it.
I'll bring it to you.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, now I guess now is the answer.
Plus, it's fake carbon fiber, so
happening.
it's super riced out right
It's
away.
what I know.
You know what
want
I
it.
really want to see on your car is that Basazuko or however you pronounce that, the exhaust.
Oh, that comes out the
Where
back.
it comes out. I don't like not anything ridiculous. Maybe just like, a
6
foot.
inches. Just
Sticking out a little bit at an upward angle off the back of the bumper. I want that on your car.
I don't think anybody around here has that.
Nobody
No.
runs that around here.
There might be a stance Miata or two, I think.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, but
still,
even those are only like 2
But
inches.
even like with,
Yeah.
with drifting, I can claim it's JDM.
you
know
gotta
what I mean?
get.
Oh, it's JDM.
You gotta have enough to like make it obnoxious, but not so much that it's dumb.
He's doing the shaft.
you were
thing
doing
again.
it too.
He's doing the shaft thing. It's the churning butter.
Of course, it's the episode 69 that we're doing this the
Yeah,
whole time. Like, of course it is. Why
So
wouldn't
much
it be?
phrasing and shaft.
This has gone way wrong.
So anyway, yeah. Now I guess I'm doing it now, Zach.
Excellent.
I'm
There's
really
a
happy.
part 2 to Zach's question.
Zach also has another question. He goes, Robbie and Adam, Team X Blades or Team Pup and Suds?
Team X Blades.
Team Pup and Suds.
Team X Blades.
I was
If
always-
you're good at something, get paid for it.
No, I get it.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You never watched Brink as a child?
Oh, it's from Brink. Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I watched it like one
But
time.
Zach just became my favorite person on the internet because
and Robbie's doing the downhill
How dare you steal my
I'm
internet?
definitely
friends?
doing the downhill.
for sure. Robbie's doing the downhill.
What?
It's a downhill race.
So
Is that at the end of?
the like
Blade?
season finale, they had
Yeah.
a street comp, a vert comp, and a downhill competition.
Okay.
And you got the teams do all 3 of those, and one person from the teams that do best in the street and vert combined does a downhill.
And
Okay.
they race against each other.
You race against each other. That would
Okay.
be Robbie for sure.
Yeah, if I was on the team.
All right. Yep.
For those that haven't no clue what we're talking about, it's Disney's Brink. BRINK.
I still don't really know what we're talking
It's a
about.
rollerblading
It's the
movie.
greatest movie ever made.
Okay, well, let's not get carried
Eric
away.
Von
but
Detten.
Let's just relax.
It's so 90s.
Wow.
So
It
good.
might be worth watching it just because
It's painfully 90s.
hell yeah.
It's the greatest movie Disney's ever made.
I could maybe give you that. Is the junior drag racing movie any good?
I
I
can't
bet if I
honestly
rewatch it,
tell
I bet
you
it's
that.
the worst thing that's ever
I
been
can't
made.
honestly
I'll watch it with
say
you.
if it's any good. or
Where are we
not.
going to get it?
Oh, I'll
Is
find
it
Is that the
available
one that
somewhere?
Erica Enders is in? Because I know she was in a movie,
Yeah.
and she's
Oh,
a
maybe.
professional drag racer
Maybe.
now, like a top fuel driver.
I bet Amazon has these. Even
For
if I
like
have to,
$1?
even if I have to pay like $100 for a VHS
What?
tape.
Brink
No,
is,
we're not doing
Brink
that.
is expensive. If you could find one, it's like
What?
$50.
Yeah,
You
I
have it?
I have a VHS copy.
We both have VHS copies.
Oh, maybe we should watch
I need to
it.
find a
You
VCR.
Oh, I have
I have
a
a
VCR.
VCR.
Oh, we're marathoning.
I have a VCR for 2 reasons: Brink and
Star Wars. Yeah, I have taped off TV from like years ago back home at my parents' place.
Yeah.
So I have all these Disney Channel movies taped somewhere.
What's that one rollerblading movie with Chris Edwards?
Airborne?
Yeah, Airborne.
I've heard of it. I
Jack
don't know.
Black's in it.
That's like his first.
Oh, my goodness.
Seth Green's first movie.
Seth Green.
or at least near
Chris,
his first.
yeah, Jack Black, Chris Green,
It's actually a surfing movie, but he rollerblades in it.
Chris
so it's super
Edwards
cool.
is the skater.
Yes.
It's great.
God, it's so 90s.
You guys were like, oh, we'll get through all these questions. We
Not
have
even-
literally like 30 questions.
Not
We're
even
never going to
close.
get through these.
All right. SS Mark Mason III.
It's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Any summer road trips planned?
Road trips.
Grid life.
Grid life for
Grid
sure.
life.
Grid life. I think that's probably going to road trip me
Robbie,
out.
there's no way to not shoot ourselves in the foot. We're going to be going to the lake probably. a
We're
couple
going to
times.
Lake of the Ozarks like a bunch, which is like the douchiest things we've said. in a long
Hell
time.
yeah. This show is so relatable.
Yep. Going to the lake.
I won't be going
Brad
to that
Pitt's
'cause
house is over
I
there.
have a child. So
I don't know. I have some. I'm going to go to Chicago one weekend because Jurassic World's
No.
thing is at the
Nope.
at the museum, and it's going to be super
God
awesome.
damn it.
No. You're going all the way to Chicago to see some fake dinosaurs.
That's just part of it. I'm just going to
Yeah,
go for all
right.
these other
Don't
reasons.
even lie to me like that. Don't look at me in the eyes and lie to me and tell me that you're
Go
not.
for- I'm looking you dead in the eyes.
No, you're going all the way
I'm
out there. to
going
look at
for
fake
other
dinosaurs.
reasons,
No,
too.
I'm not. I don't
a
believe you.
weekend away in Chicago with the bonus of Jurassic World.
No,
at the
no.
museum.
That Jurassic World started that weekend.
I was going to say
that
you
started-
wouldn't be going.
Precipitated. Right. You're not going
You're
the
not
next
like,
weekend, Robbie.
We should go to Chicago on this weekend.
Oh,
holy
Jurassic
cow! Look
Park.
at that.
Shit.
No, that's not what
it's
that
there. It's there all
discussion was.
summer. So that's what started the conversation of.
Exactly.
There,
See,
yeah,
there it
yeah.
goes.
Yeah, all right.
I forgot.
Moving on.
All right. Factory Magnum asks the question: best and worst tires you've ever run?
Best and worst.
Yes,
I've got a worst. The Kumos that were on the Hyundai, and I talked about this.
Knew you were going to say
back in the
that.
day, and the guy told me that the OEMs buy like cheaper rubber or some shit from the manufacturers, and so they look the same, but they're not the same.
Oh, really?
They look exactly the same. They have the same, markings and everything, but they're not the same because they get a special deal on them, so they cheapen them up a little bit.
Yep.
They were just glass. I mean, they were just kind of terrible.
Weren't they really loud?
They were noisy. I think the car was noisy in general anyway, but yeah. That was my worst.
You got a favorite?
I like
Best tire you've ever used?
RA1s or R888s.
See, it's funny because my least favorite tire I've ever used is the R888.
Really?
I was incredibly unhappy with that tire.
Is it because of the performance versus cost?
Well, they are very expensive.
Yes.
But
Oh, so expensive.
one of the very first times I ever drove the Omni, we were taking it to Marshalltown, and it was raining lightly, and everybody else was doing 70 miles an hour cruise set, and me and Chaz are doing 45 down the interstate, like just trying not to die, because any amount of throttle input, and you just hydroplane into oblivion.
Ooh.
I think that was supposed to be like their semi-wet tire also.
Yeah.
Because the RA1 came out first, and like all the Miata guys latched onto it because they're like, oh, this is great. It comes in a 205. It's awesome, blah, 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 whatever. And then the R888 came out, and they're like, oh, cool. These have got kind of like a pattern that disperses the water out to the sides as opposed to the RA1, which just kind of got a ring around it.
Yep.
And like, this would be great. And then everybody put them on, they were slower.
I also got more life out of my medium compound Avon Slick than I did out of the R888. The R888 got hard very quickly. I was just all around not that impressed with that tire.
I guess the best one I've ever had is the RS3s. I've had really good luck with those. I mean, again, for the price too, it's really, to me, it couldn't be beat.
Right.
And then I drove the A7s the other day, just up and down the block, and make sure my suspension wasn't going to hit it, and I had to make sure I didn't have to go any higher. Those have a lot of grip.
I would think so.
No.
How wide are those?
245s. But I do rub my bumper, so we'll figure it out.
Man.
Details. I can just cut that bumper apart.
I think my favorite tire I've ran is that Avon medium compound Slick. It's just an absolutely amazing tire for me. So, but that's not very relatable.
Did you have a worst, Robbie?
I can't remember the brand. I had something on my RAV4 that
Garbage?
pure garbage. They're like, you want these. These are the better tire. And I'm like, whatever. They're the same price. No, they were not. I hydroplaned like crazy. I remember I was driving to Wisconsin for like a family vacation thing. I was at college and I was meeting my family up there. And I was driving through like Dubuque. And there was a stoplight on not the interstate, but like when the highway goes through town, there's a stoplight. And this car in front of me just slammed on the brakes. So I slammed on the brakes. And I slid on just like a sprinkling rain.
It's like you accelerate when you hit the brakes.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't believe it. I'd never had that before in my entire life. So those would be my worst.
What's next?
Driveline Media asks, if you could go back, what would you do differently on the LS240SX? Not mold the body kit on, probably, or do the SR20s.
Which
At
one
all?
is it? The body kit's actually another question.
I know. I'll probably leave that off. Actually, I mean that. Like I probably wouldn't mold the kit on.
Yeah.
That's definitely the one thing I would change. I mean, it looks really good. Don't get me wrong. I really like the look of the car, but yeah, it's super impractical.
It's just its purpose has dramatically changed since you decided to do that.
Yeah, and the fact that we have to cut it off, and it's.
I'm gonna be honest. That decision has made me double think things on my car too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what if I change my mind down the road and this ends up being worse because of it? So,
It's just one of those things. Like when you change your purposes, it changes everything. So like when it wasn't a race car, yeah, mold the body kit sounds good. So now I don't regret it because I do like the look of the car, but it's coming off eventually.
Yeah, a curb or, some grass is going to take it off for sure.
We'll get into that later if you're wondering. But yeah, that's the one thing I would change that I wouldn't have done. Moving forward, scrape frames. Oh, I should have just asked them both at the same time. Robbie, what made you decide to mold your body kit on? As a fellow S14 owner, I can't see the point in molding, especially whenever you hit anything, it'll crack at the seams. Well, the body kit, when you order a cheap body kit off eBay that's completely fiberglass, it's not going to fit worth a shit. You should know that going into it. So spend the money on a decent body kit if that's the route you're dead set on going. It didn't fit at all. And I'm like, well, I work at a body shop. I can make this fit. So we used a crap load of fiberglass and a bunch of body filler, and we made it work, and we made the seams flawless. We made everything smooth. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
As a fellow purchaser of a cheap body kit, I can attest to how shitty they fit. And mine didn't look nearly as good when I was done because I didn't do any of the work you did.
So, but if you put as much fiberglass on as I did, you can slide it into a curb and it still doesn't fall off or break at the seams.
Boom.
Don't do that either.
What else we got?
Why did Adam choose a Cavalier and an Omni? Do you just hate Hondas? Ask the Radio Fink one.
I don't hate Hondas. I don't have anything wrong with Hondas.
The Radiophonic one.
The Radio
Radiophonic.
The Radio Fink one.
Phonic.
Oh, is it? I wrote it down wrong. I'm sorry.
IK1. This will be a whole bit. Us just
ruining
people's names.
Instagram handles.
Good. I'm glad
pretty
it's
rough.
not just me anymore.
I wrote it down wrong because I wrote it onto the spreadsheet.
So why do you hate Hondas?
I don't hate Hondas. And the Omni kind of chose me. I did not
That's
seek
true.
out the Omni. The Omni ended up on Craigslist, and I decided, you know what? That looks like a way better idea than trying to turn my Audi into an autocrossing rig. So I just bought that.
Well, that's definitely true.
And I have no particular allegiance to that car. It's too cheap and too good. And I just can't.
Way too
couldn't
affordable.
do better for less. It would
Yep.
take a lot more money to do any better than where I'm at with that car. So, I like the car, but I'm not going out and buying 10 more like everybody else that owns those cars. So, and the Cavalier was also kind of an opportunity purchase. I bought it because I worked at a GM dealership at the time and could get parts at cost. And I was a high school kid working a part-time minimum wage job. And I knew that if it broke down, I had to fix it. Because the cross-shopping vehicle I was looking at was a 944. So I think on a high school budget, I probably made the right decision.
Plus, didn't you say it makes an excellent wall car for stereo stuff?
It really didn't.
Oh, really? I thought it did for some reason.
No, because putting walls in it required disassembly of a lot.
Of structural components.
Structural and safety
Well, that
stuff?
too, but so when we put it in, the wall went in 3 or 4 sections, and in order to put it in the car, we had to take out both front seats, the center console, and I removed the passenger door entirely.
Oh, good Lord.
I took the front fender and the passenger side door off of the car to put the wall in, and it went in multiple segments, and I removed a lot of the rear package tray. That car probably shouldn't have been driven without a stereo in it. It was probably safer with
the wall.
There. Yeah,
Wow.
with hundreds of pounds of stereo in it, it was safer.
All right. Moving on. Lemon 5.0 asks,
Hell yeah, he does.
Adam,
Damn it.
why do you hate the opener so much?
This is why I hate it right here.
Everyone
This
loves
is the
it.
perfect example of why. Because they just think they're so fucking funny.
Everybody's in on it.
God
Our fans
damn
are
it.
the best fans ever.
Sponsor that's in on it. It's hilarious.
It went from being like the stupidest joke in the world. And he's just like, I don't get it. You guys are annoying. So now everyone's bought into it.
No, we had 2 sponsors that were in on it because remember Mike said it was funny too.
Yep.
I was talking to my mom last week, and she's like, where did this Adams opener thing come from, and why is it so funny? I know, right? I don't get it either.
And that's why it's funny.
Oh god. Oh, anyway, what's next?
If Adam and Robbie had trust funds, like Michael, would they buy watches and crystal? This was asked by Kenga.
King of Motorsports. The internet is awesome.
I think I don't know that I'd buy watches. I don't like wearing watches, so I don't know why I would buy one.
I can never trust a man that doesn't wear a watch.
I don't like watches. I just don't like things on my arms. I don't wear jewelry. I don't wear watches. I don't wear necklaces. I don't wear glasses, even though I really should.
You definitely should.
I don't ever wear sunglasses or hats. I can't do any of that stuff.
You should wear a watch.
Nah.
Then you know what time it is. You can show up on time. That's not effective.
720.
It's not effective. It's 719.
What's it matter?
Well, you got it wrong.
It's fine.
Oh, if I had your trust fund,
Yeah.
I know exactly like the first 2 watches I would buy.
Ooh, I'm listening. Let's hear it.
Well, I don't know the numbers, but
I don't need.
They're Momo Design Race Masters.
Oh, okay.
Automatic watches. The cheapest I've ever seen one sell for is $500.
You're not like reaching.
No. I don't.
Just saying.
I haven't even bothered looking at the 44,000 and above watches. Although
okay.
there is a hydraulic watch that's like $44,000. That's so cool.
Have you seen that shit? That is crazy.
Yes, that's why I want it.
It is nuts.
What do you?
It's a watch it's run on hydraulics.
No way.
Oh yeah.
So it's an automatic movement. It's
That's
got no
pretty
battery
sick.
in it. So it's got an automatic movement, but it's got bellows in it that move, and they push hydraulic fluid through tubes, and the hydraulic fluid is 2 different viscosities and it's colored. So as the liquid moves, one liquid pushes on the other, it goes past a scale that indicates time. It's fucking crazy, dude.
That's awesome.
I love it for
That
multiple
is-
reasons. It's cool. Plus, it's super nerdy at the same time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so cool.
There's so many fluid things happening.
I absolutely get why you guys are so nerdy about watches. The engineering and craftsmanship that goes into them, I totally get it. I just don't want one.
Oh, you need one.
I have no interest.
There was
in wearing
there was a
one.
meeting at work one time. I was going on a facetious tangent about why I can't trust a man that doesn't wear a watch. And like right as I was finishing up, my boss walks in, not wearing a watch.
That company is
to-
HYT, and they make
HYT?
several different models. It's very cool.
I think the cheapest one's like 44,000.
Yep, sounds about right.
I might have to look into that.
It's pretty.
That sounds
It's
really cool.
Pretty
They're super neat.
freaking cool.
Yeah, just nerd out over it for a while. It's
I think I might have to.
okay. Edge of Adhesion asks, the worst driver you've ever been in a car with and best driver you've ever been in a car with. I'm writing this as a passenger with my mom driving today, and I'm terrified.
I get
I
it.
didn't see that question. Somebody got one for that?
Worst
Man, I have to think for
driver
a second.
I've ever been with, my ex-girlfriend. She was aggressive. She would like tailgate people like within a foot on the interstate or the highway and just like right on their ass going, why are they driving faster? I was like, why are you driving like a psychopath?
Is this your most recently exed one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
and
I
doing
assumed.
other things like a psychopath. Anyway, moving on.
What?
I said and doing other things like a psychopath.
Like a psychopath? Yeah,
Just-
she
just
was
in
an
general.
extremely aggressive driver. Like she'd be like on her phone, but like driving, saying like these people should drive faster. but I'm
Tailgating
not
people,
even-
but on her phone. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good look.
She didn't drive very
That's
often.
how people die.
Yep.
I used to work with a guy who was a very angry man, and he drove. I used to have to ride with him all the time, and I can't tell you how many times I have been hugging my door handle, just praying to God that I was going to get home safely, because road rage was a serious problem for him, and it was terrifying. He would probably, I'm not going to use any names, but he would probably be the scariest person I've driven with or ridden with.
Yeah.
So
You had a best or a worst?
High school girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. That's all I got.
Did you ever let her drive your car?
No, absolutely not. She was
I
just
don't think that I ever
inexperienced.
rode in a car with any of my ex-girlfriends from high school. Pretty sure that if we were going anywhere, I was driving.
You were the man of the house and you were driving that damn car? Okay.
I had the sweet car with the Lambo
just
doors.
checking.
Of course,
Oh,
we were
fuck
taking
yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it because that's cool.
It's not cool, Robbie.
That's why it's cool.
You know, if you notice that
It's
one thing the
cool.
drifters won't do is put Lambo doors on their cars.
That's not even true.
That's not true at all.
That is true.
I've seen it.
Who's done it?
I can't list any names.
Yeah,
but-
exactly.
Robbie, focus on. We have like 40
Anyway,
more
best
questions.
best driver.
That's an RC car. Never mind.
Yeah,
Best car?
exactly.
Best driver. I've had a handful of decent drivers. I don't know who I would say is the best. I mean, when we're in kind of like that's kind of our scene. We should have a bunch of good drivers.
I don't ride with people that often in that capacity.
I got a couple. I rode with Luke
Yeah.
in his Drift GTO. That was a different experience. You should do that sometime because
I will,
It
in like a
changes
month.
you
Very good.
changes
too.
your mind about some stuff. You're like, holy shit, this
He's
is
Aren't we
very
both
good.
going
I don't know.
in June?
Jack Dick about. Isn't that a question later?
I don't know.
Are you
Yes.
driving in June?
No.
Me neither.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, riding with Luke in the Drift GTO, that was pretty crazy. And then Mike from Iowa region, SCCI, I rode with him one time. And Mike with the red RX-7 from Des Moines region, I've ridden with both those guys, and those guys usually pretty
guy
close to
that you work
FTD.
with.
Yeah.
Those
guys
he's
are
fast,
he's crazy.
very
Those
fast.
guys are really crazy fast.
He's especially crazy because he'll show up late, not even walk the course, and go out and be top packs after the first heat. It's just like,
what happened? Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yep. And a bone stock RX-7.
But what's
It's
the
not
most
bone stock.
terrifying about
It's basically, dude.
You mean
It's
the
in-
RX-8?
it?
Or yeah.
It's
the
not
8,
bone stock,
sorry.
but I mean, it's
It's got some
it is damn
suspension
near.
work on it, but that's it.
Yep.
It's in street, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 I don't know
But
how
like
fast it is.
the scariest part about it is like he goes to nationals and he's like mid pack.
Yeah, I don't know how you get that good, but
That's some other level driving.
Yep,
Some of those
it is.
people.
what's the next question?
Easy Shots asks, if you could change an unalterable thing on one of your cars, what would it be?
I got one for this
You
right off the
start-
bat.
I'm not even sure.
Mine would be I would change the Omni so it was a Volkswagen instead of a Dodge. Because if
So
it
you
was,
could stop having people ask you.
well, number one, I would stop having to explain, no, this is not a Golf. This is a Dodge Omni. And number two, I'd just rather it be a Golf. I like the Golf better.
Fair.
I can argue with that. Unalterable.
Are you got one over there?
There's very few things on my car that's not altered.
I know. Well,
Mine
I
is
got
the most molested car out of all of us.
I got one. My semi-trailing arm rear suspension on my RX-7 is
Yep.
just a limitation of that chassis. I wish it was more like the chassis on the S chassis, the whole rear chassis setup.
Yeah, it's really
Where basically anything's adjustable.
Yep.
I would love to have double wishbone like a Civic on my Omni too. That'd be real nice.
Yep. Robbie's changed everything about his car, so
I've changed everything. I would probably remove the fact that it's a salvage title, because then things would be straight on it.
That would be nice.
you would straighten it basically.
No. I would wish that it had never have been.
Never been.
Start
ever
with-
had been
Oh,
wrecked.
okay.
Start with a clean car to begin from.
Yep.
All right.
This whole like, I'll buy a salvage car and it'll be fine. I'll fix it. It's basically new.
Wrong.
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 There's so many things wrong with it.
Just got to find the right
It'll
salvage
never be
car.
right. Lee Forget asks, if Robbie and Adam had trust funds, what cars would they have as daily and race car? Totally leaving you out of this.
I'm not in this.
He's already got a
I
trust
made
fund.
my
He doesn't
choices.
have to ask those
yeah,
questions.
I already made my choices.
It's a very hard question.
Well, I know yours.
What?
Your Porsche Panamera and an Ultima GTR.
That's probably fair.
Boom.
Bam.
Next.
Fair.
Next.
I can't argue.
Do I have a better answer than that? All right, answer for me then.
Exige.
Robbie would have an Exige for sure.
By the way, Jerry Seinfeld's is for sale if you
Don't
feel like you need one.
that. The
$67,000.
brand new one, the blue one they just posted. I can't think what the numbers are on it are. It's so cool.
And he'd have like a Nismo Frontier with a little bit of pre-runner action going.
No, I'd be completely stock. It'd be stock as stock could be stock.
That's true. He would have a bone stock Nismo Frontier
Yep.
for a daily.
Correct.
We've
If you-
done this podcast for
Another
too long.
acceptable answer.
Maybe a Titan so that he could tow with
I
it.
love the new Titans.
He'd probably have a Titan.
do.
Can you get? Is it the Titan you can get with the diesel, or is that the Toyota?
Yes.
Toyota isn't out yet.
You can get a 5-liter Cummins. In
Yep,
the Titan.
yeah, in the
That's
Titans.
what you'd
That's
have.
probably what he'd have, so he can tow his Exige, which he does not need a,
I can't wait till
giant diesel engine truck to tow an Exige, because I
wouldn't
could
need the
tow an
diesel.
Exige with the S10, but that's not the point when you have a trust fund.
You can have whatever you want, Robbie.
Like an FJ Cruiser.
Or not. Can't tow shit with those.
just to
I really
piss you
don't think
off.
you can tow anything with those.
You could tow something.
You could tow like a
Porta potty
lawnmower
or something.
a porta potty. Yeah.
You don't need to tow a porta potty.
If you were
already
towing
have one.
if you were towing a porta potty, people would come up to you and ask you why you had turned another FJ Cruiser into a trailer. You know when people do that thing where
like
they take
with Corvettes.
yeah, or I was thinking when people take a truck bed and they put it on a trailer.
My dad has two of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that's not true. My dad has one, and my mom has another. That's a long-running family
Yep.
joke. My parents are dying laughing right now. Anyway,
I'm glad that joke landed somewhere. That's all I'm saying. It's not wrong. I'm just saying.
All right, we'll wrap Instagram's questions up with a Rally Sideways question. What is the type of motorsport or racing event that you haven't tried but is on your bucket list that you will do? Well,
I think for us, it's pretty much this
Everything.
endurance racing thing.
I was hoping to knock
Chump.
out drag racing this weekend. I'm hoping to do PDX, time attack, chump racing, endurance racing,
drift.
drift.
Yeah, I desperately want to get into time.
I'm
attack.
hoping to knock
That's
out damn
my-
near all of them
That's
this
my
year.
big one is time attack.
And then obviously a huge bucket list thing I'm going to try and knock out in the next year is driving school, racing school.
Yep. Easy question.
That was a good question.
Should we go to the Book of Faces?
Book faces, please.
Is that my turn then?
Or I can read them.
no,
I don't
man.
care. It's up to you.
I
You
got
want me
it.
to read? All right.
I got it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this is not where I want to be. There we go. Nope, sorry.
The Book of Faces. Let's go.
I'm trying. Josh
Bro.
LePetrie, what tips do you guys have for someone doing their first autocross? Zachary Carroll
You got
pretty
it.
much summed that all for us. Just do it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it.
It's a perfect answer.
Yeah, it's
Come with an open mind and don't worry about not doing well.
just show up, and he's got a Lancer Rally Art. So I mean, just show up, find somebody that seems nice, and be like, "Hey, I'm new." I think the best answer would probably be to show up early, walk the course, talk to somebody that helped put up the course, like one of the workers. You're in Sioux Falls, so find Josh Fettis, talk to him, be like, "Hey, I'm new."
He's not a worker anymore. That's
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind.
I don't
Find
have
somebody
time
else.
for this. But Josh would be there
Ask
to help
Josh
you.
Fettis. Yeah.
Then I'd say just do it. Find somebody to ride along with you. Give you some pointers. Ride along with somebody else. Bring a helmet.
The thing I tell everybody, my very first event I ever did autocrossing, I DNF'd to 6 out of 6. So just don't even worry about it.
I never.
And if you're going to need to go real slow so you know how to navigate the cones, do that.
Yeah. Take
Don't
your
worry
time.
about being a madman.
Yeah, you're not there
We
to
all
win.
understand that. You're not going to win. Just get over it. Just
have
go out
fun.
there and have fun. That's what matters.
Run what you brung.
Just do it.
Just do it.
What's
Next. What events are you guys planning on attending next?
Oh, as this is coming out, should have been at 2 races this weekend, but the rain looks like that's not going to happen.
We should probably start doing the event calendar thing that we did last year.
we didn't do that.
So fast forward to the end of the show and you'll find out.
Are we going to save that for the end?
Yeah, I'll say we got grid life.
Robbie and I are not drifting in June, so that's good.
Yeah, we are.
What?
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 Oh, shit. Cat's out of the bag now.
Oh, it's on.
Sean Stanford wants to know, what are we doing June 3rd around 5?
That's a very specific question that Sean
It's an
asked.
oddly specific
It seems like an oddly
and
specific
time, isn't it?
Actually, now that I think about it, I think we're going to be at Midwest Exclusives Meet and Greet 4.
Meet and greet 4, because that starts at 5
right.
until 9 in the West Glen parking lot.
That's going to be very interesting because that's like, I don't want to call that downtown for West Des Moines, but it kind of is.
It's super awesome.
It is like right smack in the middle
It's
of West Des
probably
Moines.
the best location they've ever had, I would argue.
It'll be very interesting. And it sounds like they're going to have music and like a beer garden, and it's going to be it's going
to be a thing.
It's a deal.
I don't think it's ending at 9, which really works out for me because I have tickets to Nitro Circus, and I'm going to do both. I'm going to make it to Nitro Circus in Ames and still make it to the car show.
I haven't decided what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do Nitro Circus or not.
I understand.
I haven't decided yet.
I'll be there.
We'll see.
Don't worry. My car will be there.
I really
Might even
really
be there
wanna see
early and be
Nitro
there the whole
Circus,
time,
though.
and I will be there.
Word up. What's next?
Does Michael Beck really have a thing for Spencer Crone?
This is
Duh.
also Sean.
I think that's a pretty
Yeah.
obvious.
I don't
Spencer's
even
the
know
man.
why
I
we're
don't
even,
blame him.
know why we're
Man
asking
crush.
this question.
Sean once again asks, will this be the biggest meet and greet ever?
Obviously.
Yes.
I think that's true.
Huge.
Sean Stanford once again asks, does Daniel Johnson really strip on Sundays only?
I
I've
can't
never
say
met
if it's
Daniel
just on-
Johnston, so
Why
I
would you
can't
do
say
on
if
Sundays?
it's just on Sundays.
I hope he
it's
doesn't
not really
because
sure.
that's really limiting his earning potential.
Right. Yeah. That's
You want to be doing it on Friday and Saturday, or
That's
even
true.
Thursday. Sunday's
True.
probably not the night
Sunday's
to do
probably
it.
not a good day.
Isn't Wednesday amateur night?
No, Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, I feel like
allegedly.
Tuesday afternoons, the work grind, getting people down. That might be a good day. I don't
Do you
know.
think they do Wing Wednesday?
That's no.
Hot wings?
That's a different thing.
Oh, man. Like a free buffet with hot wings?
What's the next question?
Sean Stanford once again asks, is Brandon Webster really a model on the side?
I think he is. Yeah,
I don't know
course
why
he is.
wouldn't be.
Pretty sure.
He's got a strikingly beautiful Facebook profile picture, so why not?
You went way deeper than I did.
Does Stacy Cook really hate everyone?
Duh.
Never met her.
Based
I
on
can't.
her response, I think yes.
Equally, yeah.
But at
well,
least
she
she's
did
equal
say
opportunity
she
about
She did
it.
say she hates everybody, so that's that's out there.
And then Sean Stanford once again asks if he really is an asshole, which I think is absolutely the case.
He seems like a nice guy.
Brandon Webster wants to know from Michael, why the LT1 platform over the LS?
Because my total drivetrain cost me
$12.
$950.
Yeah, that's a good answer. That's reason enough.
And because it's an ex-cop car motor, which is a little bit funny. So
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Ferrari carburetor on the Shelby built supercharger that I have. It is kind of funny. Spencer wants to know why or what my next build's going to be, and I've mentioned building another car. So when and what? I don't know yet because I can't make up my mind, and I also have no money, which is really
It's a real limiting factor there. Yeah.
So probably after my career change, that'll be that's my answer for now.
If people buy enough shirts, maybe this could be
There
a
you
career.
go.
ooh,
There you go.
shirts and
Nice.
hats at the store.
Shameless plug.
10tenspodcast.com.
Robbie, when are you going to cut the body kit off? We're all waiting.
Oh man, we were gonna do this months ago. Just that weekend fell
This
through.
is going to be our YouTube debut
It's
that we
def-
fucked up.
Yep, we were.
We kind of talked about it though. Like we were looking at those side skirts. Really don't.
There's nothing to gain by cutting off the side skirt.
The side skirts don't hang down any farther than
The frame rails.
the frame rails. There's nothing to be gained.
No, I mean,
The rear bumper I can see.
Yep.
But I don't think there's any point in removing the side skirts.
yeah. So I had Josh. We had a whole weekend set aside. Josh was going to come down. He was going to cut it off. We were going to videotape it. We were going to show all the terrible decisions I've made by molding that thing on. And so I mean, it's happening. You guys talked me into it, and I've been kind of avoiding it. I'm not going to even pretend that I'm not trying to avoid it, but it's clearly happening.
When, I think, was a question he asked.
Oh, did you say when? I just said yes.
Whenever we feel like.
Whenever we can fit it in. So probably realistically July or June or July
Okay.
or August or
December, whatever. I mean, it's all the same.
Maybe next winter.
2019.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I didn't say
thought.
what year.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Derek
No,
has
no,
a
wait, sorry.
great one that we're probably going to turn into a full episode because that just sounds too much fun to try and smash into this one. But I promise, Derek, we'll get to it.
Hold tight, Derek.
Josh Carter wants to know why we hate Subarus so much.
We don't hate Subarus. We hate the stereotypical person that buys them.
He did say we aren't all vape assholes, so he does address that there is a stereotype.
At least he's accepted that.
We don't like we don't like the stereotype.
You know what? I still like the Legacy GT a lot, and I could definitely see myself owning one. I think my problem with Subarus comes from like the unadulterated, just they can do no wrong thing about, you know what I mean? Some of the owners get like, just like, this is the great, no one has ever made a car that ever compares to, it's like, well, there's so much other stuff out there that is cool and does cool things. And
So they're like Porsche owners.
Yes.
I said it.
yeah, you
I
did
said
say
it. It's whatever.
But yeah, I think,
I desperately want a Subaru Brat, just for the
so
record.
there you go. So we like, two of us like Subarus at least.
I think the Brat is the greatest. It has a rear-facing seat and a pickup bed. It's great.
I'm not mad
I
about
need
it.
that in my life.
So we don't hate Subarus.
No.
We shared a Subaru all week last week. Bill?
Yeah.
There you go.
We were pumping
He
that
did.
guy
He
up.
did really
second,
well.
Second in class.
He
We
did
haven't even
really
talked
well.
about
No,
it.
Bill
Super pumped
one,
for them.
One lap.
Team
of
Corn
America-
Fed.
Team Corn Fed, second in class, did really well. Consistency, which is what I said at the beginning. They prepared and they were consistent, and they both drove that car. Not just one of them. Some of them had a co-pilot, but they didn't drive. They both drove that car at every single event, which means they left events later, and the car had twice as much track time on it. Still second in class.
Awesome.
Boom.
It's funny. I still don't want to do it.
One lap.
do.
It looks miserable.
Robbie and I are going to do it.
Oh, I'm in.
That's fine.
I'm all in.
I'll just, I don't know.
RX-7 next year.
RX-7.
Yep.
Yep.
10 tenths.
Boom.
Adam Jubay wants to know rotary, two-stroke, or superbike power for his tiny little race car. He claims he's asking for a friend, but we know
Or we know
it's not.
better.
Yeah.
I don't say super. Like I assume he means like a crotch rocket engine, like
Yeah,
an R1.
so he's got that little. It's basically a Lotus 7 with a different body on it.
yes.
So, or his friend does. Excuse me.
Yeah. Sorry.
friend.
Not him.
And I told his friend earlier this week that he should put a two-stroke in it because they sound awesome.
I say he should go with an.
He needs to put a Busa
Yeah,
or an
crotch rocket
R1.
That's
engine.
that's what his friend wants to do. Rotor,
What is
let's drop
rotary?
this rotary
Get that
option.
no apex
just-
seals. If we're gonna throw rotary in there, we might as well throw LS
Well,
on there
so
somewhere.
it's got a built like big cam 4AGE in it, which is a Toyota motor that came in like the AE86, I think.
Okay,
It's a great little motor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Frankly, if you're gonna not do a bike engine
that's a good option.
and a rotary's your option, forget it. Just leave the motor that's in it.
Yes.
But that's a dry sump on that 4AGE, And apparently they're very rare and expensive, and you could pretty much
So he should sell
fund
the
your
4
superbike swap just right there.
Dude, you
There
can
you
get a
go.
boosted motor for nothing.
Yeah.
Or an R1 motor for nothing.
Yeah, they're super
That's
common.
what I would do for sure. Just for the noise alone.
I think there's something about the Busa that
Yeah,
makes
is there
it
like
difficult.
is there like a classing thing that he has to
Oh,
worry
I
about?
don't know that he's even that concerned about it.
Oh, then to heck with it. Let's get the biggest one you can find.
Fuck yeah,
he
LS.
made the rules for grid life, so classing's not an issue.
He
can do whatever he
His
wants.
friend did.
Excuse
Allegedly.
me.
Oh yeah. This is for his friend. Sorry.
But because we told him which one to go in, he has to let one of us drive it, named Robbie. At least once. Even if it's slow.
Around the parking lot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Through the paddock, whatever.
Yeah, it'd make me happy.
All right, fair enough.
I think that's all.
Yeah, we can roll through those Facebook ones pretty quickly.
That's good.
Boom. Should we do the news?
Okay.
Just real quick, thanks for the questions, guys.
These were good questions.
Some of them were really fun. I was
Well,
genuinely excited for
We
this.
posted this like Monday, and I'm like, ooh, it's kind of late. I hope someone gives us decent questions. And all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, like, okay, there's our show. All
taken
right.
care of.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we didn't even do a follow because the first time we did it, we had to do like follow ups, like, "Hey guys, don't forget we're doing this thing."
Yeah.
And, like questions. Yeah,
No, not this
we
time.
went dead quiet after that first post. Like, let's not.
We're mildly bigger than we were the last time we did it. So
Yeah, this is fame, bro.
This is fame,
This
bro.
is fame. Yep. Now I'm going to say this right now so that Robbie puts that Kanye meme in here.
I'm not putting that much
Put the
effort in.
Kanye meme right here.
Right there?
Right. It's going to start now.
No.
2 missed calls, 1 text message.
This is fame.
Is this fame, bro? Is that when he interrupted Taylor Swift or something? It's him,
I don't
it's
know.
him at an
It's-
award
yeah, it's some
ceremony,
speech.
looking all cocky and shit. It's really funny.
No, Kanye looking cocky.
It's my favorite
Really
one to
called
pull
it.
out.
You guys want to do the news now?
Let's do the news.
The German Polizia want American soldiers to put
That got super Russian really fast.
I don't have a German
Oh,
accent.
man,
Just-
that was great.
It
I
went-
didn't even want you to read
went-
it that
it
way. I
went-
just thought it was funny to write it.
You wrote it that way. I have to read it that way.
Yeah, are you gonna actually read? Are you gonna Ron Burgundy the news from now on? Because
Because if you are, we're gonna fuck with you.
I was doing it and he
I
wouldn't.
changed his the other
I,
day.
Yeah.
Ron Burgundy.
Question mark?
I've been putting stuff on here and he hadn't done it. And then one time I put a line on there and he actually read it. So I was like, oh, he's gonna do it from now on.
Yeah.
So I started doing it and he started editing them. So pick one. If you're gonna do it, let's do it.
I got to keep you on your toes. So,
Do you finish what you said? Because I don't know that.
all right, the German Polizia want American soldiers to put mufflers on their loud V8s because they're being nuisances, apparently, allegedly.
That doesn't surprise me, frankly.
I didn't realize that Germany has like the strictest in what's the word I'm looking for?
like inspection
Inspection laws.
vehicle
Yeah.
maintenance laws.
Yeah, they're pretty hardcore.
So I guess I didn't realize that American cars, what did it say, makes up like 15% of the car scene?
Yep,
What did German cars make up around here?
like 15%.
15% of the cars. That's bizarre. But we're talking like old muscle cars. Yeah. So apparently, and they have
Yeah, how often do you see old Audis?
never.
They never make it that long.
Rusted apart and relays died and somebody just
That's right.
left it in their backyard. That is a fact. That's
Robbie,
typically what
Robbie,
happens to
Robbie.
them. But, so anyway, these are old American muscle cars, and I think a lot of times they're soldiers, because I think there's bases in
We have
Germany.
a pretty major military base presence there.
I think,
Just because we
well,
had it left over and we just maintained it.
and Germany is demilitarized.
I don't know that they still are.
I think they still are, yes.
I don't know. Just
So-
political things we
I'm
don't.
not a historian. I know
So,
math.
yeah, we have military bases in Germany, and those guys
Are souping up cars.
are souping up cars, and the Germans are not happy about it.
Yep. So they're mad about loud mufflers or lack of mufflers, tint, and like anything that's not from the factory. Basically, it's like, I mean, if you're driving around with like hood scoops and it didn't come that way, you can get a ticket.
Yeah, they were saying so. German cars. I think the problem is that these American-owned cars are not subject to their inspection rules, and so they're pissed about that.
Yep.
They've got a little loophole in there somewhere.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
So the Germans, if you have any rust that results in a hole, car fails.
Yep.
So you're done.
I think Japan's that way too.
Well, Japan just basically makes you replace the engine every 35,000 miles or something.
Yeah.
That's why you get the SR20s here and all that
It
stuff.
gets really hard to own a car that's more than
Few years old,
15,
yeah.
20 years old.
They check the headlight aim.
Which is something that I think more people need to do.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Because
it's not
that
a bad thing.
drives me fucking
No,
nuts.
well, and then
fairly easy
people
fix.
that aftermarket HIDs and don't put reflectors in them.
Yeah,
That's a different deal,
That's a
but
whole
that's really
different
annoying.
story. But I think there's a lot of people whose headlight aim is probably more off than you'd realize.
True. Brake torque. They check brake torque.
That's pretty intense.
interesting.
To go
Yeah,
that
that's
deep
pretty
into
intense.
I didn't
It's
even
not a
know
bad
that was
thing.
a thing.
Just
They got a
verifying that your brakes
machine
work.
that they can take the brake caliper off and check the torque of
How
the
much it
piston.
clamps?
Yeah, clamping force.
Huh. That's cool.
Interesting one. No leaking fluid, so nothing I own would pass there.
Yeah, I mean, can't drive any of my vehicles anymore.
You have to carry a little book with you that notes all modifications made and that they've been inspected.
It's not a little book when your name is Robbie Veerhout.
Robbie,
It's an encyclopedia.
yeah, your car would definitely not be allowed over there.
There's no Nissan parts on this anymore except the unibody.
And that little grill thing says Sylvia on it.
Yeah, but that didn't come from this country, so that's another modification. That
Get written off for.
So
Anyway,
yeah,
I just think it's funny.
it kind of got turned into a bigger
Story.
deal because they had this car show where all the soldiers were like, it's kind of their thing, so they were like the main people there.
participating, yeah.
Yep. So then the police just waited at the entrance or the exit, so that every time someone would leave, there's a ticket for all the things you have. So they were just getting people one by one as they
Wow.
left the show.
That's
so
rough.
every single person that was there with an air quote illegally modded car got tickets.
I think this for us is an anomaly because we don't deal with this because, as we've said before, there are no vehicle inspections here.
complete
There's
opposite.
probably other people in like California and potentially other countries that are like, what are you guys talking about? Because this is
Yeah.
completely normal.
Yeah.
Or normal to some extent. We just don't deal with this at all. Our car never sees an inspector of any kind.
For better or worse.
For better or worse, I agree. But, like I've said before, those farmers have a lot of shitty vehicles that they drive from farm to farm or farm to town or whatever. And if you tried to tell them that they couldn't do that anymore, that might be a problem.
I saw a pickup the other day on the interstate that was like looked like it was completely bent, like when you
Twisted? Yeah.
twisted like when you wring out a towel.
Yep.
It looked like someone had done that with the truck, and it was so rusty. It looked like it had just kind of rusted up to about the window. All
That's
like
not
the
a good
entire
look.
way around the car. Truck.
I keep seeing, I notice it more and more, and I don't know why, but pickups that have the frame is rusted, and now the bed and the cab are not
Like the top of
level.
the top of the bed is almost touching the back of the cab.
And I see that and I go, oh my God, that is a fucking disaster
Don't-
way to
don't
do
You're
it.
drive that
super
car.
dead if you
Yeah,
crash.
you need to just get rid of that. That is now a safety problem.
cut your losses, move on.
Right. But that is things, I mean, see that semi-regularly. Or cars that really shouldn't be on the road.
Yep.
Cars with like 2 cylinders running, that's, I mean, it's not uncommon around here.
It's kind of funny to like just stand at the side of the road and listen to cars go by. Because you're just like, what is wrong with that thing?
How is it even
What?
driving?
Does that person know that that wheel bearing is about to seize up and they're going to just spin off into the ditch? Because, wow.
It's totally legal here. There's not anything they
So-
can do about it.
I can see the validity of some inspection.
Oh, God. Windows 10's wanting to restart.
You tell it to
Sorry.
go away.
No, we don't need
Man,
that.
Windows 10, that was a panic moment. Don't be doing that. Jeez.
Cut it
Start
short.
it over.
Yep, start the show over.
All right, you guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
Arctic trucks have found a new route across Antarctica because it was clearly needed for all the traffic.
Did you see how bitchin' those trucks are, though?
Yeah, the Arctic trucks.
It's pretty much the only reason I wanted to talk about this.
They're
'cause
neat.
They're awesome.
They are awesome. Did you see? I didn't realize this, but it made total sense once I read it. They made the Top Gear North Pole Challenge, whatever it was, North Pole Trek trucks.
Right.
The Tundras.
Yeah, it sounds
Tundras?
like
think
this
they
is their
were.
thing.
Or Hiluxes?
They're probably, they're
Yeah,
Tundras.
Hiluxes.
They're, the
Or
rest of
whatever.
the world has a different name for them.
Yeah, but they're pretty sweet, dude.
Oh yeah,
They put jet fuel in them.
because you can't. Yeah, can't. That's all they
'Cause it
have
f-
down there.
Well, yeah, and it freezes. Regular fuel freezes.
Yep.
So they put jet fuel in them. And it's not because your timing's not set up correctly on your muscle car.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not go there. Jesus Christ.
That makes Adam so angry.
I raced airplane fuel. Cool story, bro.
Yeah, back your timing down a little bit there, bro. Let you calm down.
relax.
Yep.
You don't need 13-to-1 compression.
No, not in your car that you
Your street-driven car?
piddle around and
No,
go to good
no,
guys.
you're
in.
just making your life more difficult.
Yep. I agree.
Stop it.
I agree. I think that's it. They're just kind of cool looking.
Yeah, they're just really rad.
Yep.
Not a ton to talk about.
I didn't realize that the ice can move 13 feet a day.
That's crazy,
in
isn't it?
Antarctica.
Isn't it technically like a river?
Kind of, yeah.
ice?
It moves. 13 feet, though.
That's a lot.
Yeah, like 2 days later, you wouldn't be able to find stuff. I mean, you can't find anything anyway because it's all white,
Yeah.
covered in snow. But
That's got to be like, to me, that's hell. That's hell on Earth. Being in the Arctic, I could be in the hottest place on Earth. That's fine, but Antarctica would be the worst.
If you got stuck out there, you're fucked.
You're dead. You're not making it through.
Right. There's no.
If that
two
car
ways around
dies halfway across your trip, you're done.
Right. Exactly.
Because they have to have a heater in the engine. Just like if you ever shut it off, it has to have a heater
To keep
it
won't
warm so it'll start.
Won't seize. Yep.
Yeah, you need jet fuel just to run your car. Their tires are, oh God, what are they? They're so huge that there's enough air in them.
These giant balloon tires.
Yeah, so there's really low air pressure, so they could run over your hand and you wouldn't even you'd be
Feel
no
it.
pain. It's just nuts.
don't
It's a
wanna
whole
be a
other
part
world,
of
and
it.
I don't want to be anything to do with it.
No. I always think it's funny that they talk about that. That is technically a desert
Yeah, it's the driest place on Earth.
based on the amount of precipitation it receives annually. It's technically a desert, which is crazy.
You know what I found really interesting? Arctic Trucks, right? Pretty self-explanatory name.
Yep.
They have operations in the UK. I mean, these are places that get cold. I mean, the UK gets cold. You're close to potentially going to Iceland or Greenland or wherever.
I think that's more of just parts availability. We'll build them here because we can.
Yeah, we'll buy the vehicles here. Norway, Finland, Poland, Russia, all these places are cold, right? They also have a location in the UAE, which is not cold remotely ever.
But isn't that closer to Antarctica?
What do you mean by closer?
Arguably.
Physically, yes, I guess, but
Kind of.
but
Think
I
about
think
it.
that it's more because they build these wild off-road trucks, and rich people like ridiculous things.
Yep, that's
especially
exactly what
people
it
from
is.
there.
That's exactly. I was like, I can justify Northern England or northern Europe. I can justify that. Russia, it gets cold as shit up there in Siberia.
Siberia's a miserable
UAE
place.
doesn't snow there ever. So and it's
Never
120 degrees out there.
Not in recorded history has it snowed
right.
there.
Yep. So again, it's just a case of rich people. What is it? An idiot and his money will be separated or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what that is. I think that's it for that one.
I could see somebody like, yeah, check out my Arctic truck and my Aventador.
But if nobody else, they're all about.
okay.
They're all about if nobody else
Exclusivity.
has it. Yeah,
Yep.
I want it.
Yep. So you buy a car that's built for Arctic expeditions.
nobody's gonna have
gonna
that.
have that
Right.
Yeah, nice Hummer, bro. Check
until
out my
they
Arctic
until
truck.
they open up a manufacturing facility there, and then everybody has it. And now they can't sell any.
That might be the case.
But I bet you they have, a lot of their modifications probably cross over to like sand dune rigs
True.
pretty easily.
True. Yeah. Definitely.
The low pressure tires and stuff like that. That's all the same as driving through sand as snow, essentially.
definitely.
So, minus, block heaters and stuff like that, it's the same idea.
And maybe that's all they're doing is shipping them over there and like changing the wheels.
The name Arctic Truck is the
Right.
company, but they're building sand dune crawling rigs here.
Well, I'm sure.
Makes sense.
Moving on.
What's next?
NASCAR is making more batshit crazy rule changes.
Hey, you read the thing that I wrote.
Mid-season.
Mid-season after they already made a rule change.
Yep. So now they're trying to go to sports ball like quarters or thirds.
So they said they were they said they were going to do thirds,
Yep.
intermissions,
Yep.
or whatever they had called them. So they're going to break a race into thirds.
Yes.
And the race that we're particularly talking about in this case is the Coca-Cola 600. Is
Yes.
that right? So they're going to break it into thirds.
So
Going
now
to have
this,
a little break in the middle.
yeah, it's intermission,
Intermission.
but you get points based on that,
Where you finish.
Yeah, in that intermission. So you get technically 3 chances at points, and
So
then
it's basically 3 races.
technically, then the third race counts the most because it's the end of the race, right?
Yes, correct.
That is
So-
really dumb.
Yeah.
But
So now
they've literally said that they're going to be more sports ball like.
So now since the 600 lap race or mile race is going to be split into 100 laps each.
Yep.
So now it's 4 quarters. So it's 4 races. So now it's worth more points than the rest of the other races.
So not only that, somebody wins the race,
Yeah.
but somebody also wins the other 3 races. But then people get points
For
for
the chase or the playoffs, or whatever they call it.
It's called the chase, and that's probably the single most confusing thing in all of sports.
Well, it's gotten more confusing.
It just got worse.
So what you're telling me is that someone could win the first 3 quarters,
Yeah.
and someone else could win the last quarter,
Yeah.
and technically the guy that won the first 3 probably ended up with more points.
Maybe. Could.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's.
I'm sure there's a
dispersed.
scenario where that could happen.
Because if you win 3 out of 4, I feel like it almost has to be worth more points than just the fourth.
The fourth is definitely
yes.
heavily loaded. But I can't say for sure. I'm
Why
sure
don't
there's
they-
a scenario where that could happen.
Why don't they just race a fucking race? Be like,
It's dumb, Robbie. No one has time for that.
let's have a green flag, and then we'll race. And if there's a caution, then that's
We'll slow
that's
them down
what-
or whatever. Yeah,
and then when
exactly.
the checker flag is out, that's the end of the race.
Races are just too long, Robbie.
And it's called endurance racing.
Nobody wants to race that long. It's like that's the reason there's no 24-hour. Oh wait.
Oh wait.
I have a theory about this that nobody talked about. This is my personal theory. I think that if they split this shit up with a bunch of intermissions and a bunch of other bullshit and rules that nobody understands, they can make a bigger slot on television and they can sell more ads.
So it actually lasts longer.
Absolutely.
Because now you're going to have a pre-show thing where you talk about the rules that nobody understands, sponsored by Dodge.
yeah.
And then you got
But
a
that's
race.
also got commercial intermissions.
That's right with the commercials. That's 2 hours, and then you race, and then you stop,
Yeah, so that 3-hour race just turned into a 5-hour race.
and you have some bullshit you talk about sponsored by whatever, and then there's commercials, and then you race, and then you do that 3 more times, and then you have a post race where they talk about the chase or whatever,
and they have to explain to you. Well, even though this guy won the race, he didn't get the most points.
right.
And in this scenario, under these conditions, so and so could be in the chase, and even though this guy won, he's not in the chase. And
See, it's that Sports Center thing. They get on Sports Center and those guys draw on boards and shit, and they wear those ties with the huge knot that doesn't make any. That's like as wide as their huge head, and they talk about stuff that is speculative, and they just bullshit for 24 hours a day about nothing, and that's what they're trying to do with NASCAR now.
if there's an hour and a half of or 2.5 hours of game time,
Yep.
with 36 hours of nonstop talking about what happened during the game.
Right, and that's what they're trying to do with NASCAR.
Well, it's 36 hours before about what might happen,
Yep.
and then 36 hours after about what actually did happen.
Uh-huh.
And then by the time that's over, it's another 36 hours for the next game.
but that's why there's 8
ESPN.
ESPNs
Yep.
because there's too many
Plus,
games.
plus there's a Fox Sport, NBC Sports,
Yep,
There's more than one Fox Sports,
local.
isn't there?
Yeah, I don't know.
there's a bunch of them.
Then there's sports radio, and
Oh god, XM.
XM's full of it.
there's a local station that's all it is talk sports radio.
KXNO or some shit
And
like
we
that.
don't even live in a large
sporting.
place.
demographic.
Yeah, we don't have a
Yeah,
football
Iowa's
team.
kind of like the worst sporting demographic when it comes to professional sports.
Everybody leaves the state.
Yep.
We get some good, college players, and
Yeah,
then they leave.
college is like the closest we have to pros, unless you want to travel to like Kansas City or Chicago or Minneapolis or Green Bay.
I think this
Working for a company who basically our biggest customer is Iowa State, a
Yep.
lot of people treat them like professional level athletes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I get it.
So,
Because, in that scenario, they are.
yeah.
And don't get me
here.
wrong. I'm a huge sports fan. I watch Sports Center. I watch basketball live. I watch all cycling sports. I'm not bashing the idea of sports, but I don't like the idea of thinking NASCAR is the same as a basketball game because it's not.
It doesn't need to be
Fucking
either.
race.
It needs to be a race. It needs to have a defined start and a defined finish, and it only needs one of those each.
Yes, and we're going to end up segueing into our next one topic off of this, but with Formula One getting a new ownership this year and trying to revamp it and get new fans and really trying to just be about the fan and having it just be, this is Formula One, you're going to love it. And then NASCAR is doing all this shit. It's kind of perfect storm for Formula One to just kind of get bigger.
I don't think that.
I'm not saying it's going to take over NASCAR.
I
Don't get me
think that
wrong.
Most of the people who are diehard NASCAR fans, I don't think are going to flip to Formula One, no matter how much of a cluster that NASCAR.
I would argue the opposite. Like, you got a bunch of traditionalists that are like, this is not NASCAR anymore. Back in my day, it was a fucking race beginning to end. And now, but Formula One's a race beginning to end.
I think they'd go to sports car racing before they go to Formula One, though,
No.
because it's open wheel and it's foreign, and because
They know what
most people
IndyCar is, though.
most people look. Well, yeah, IndyCar maybe.
IndyCar,
but most
even-
people look at Formula One as being a European motorsport.
Well, even in IndyCar. I mean, that's gotten bigger in the last couple of years, I'd say. I mean, it's not anywhere near as
It's
big as NASCAR.
struggling. It's struggling in
I guess
comparison.
you see it on TV more, I guess, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I don't-
I am kind of with Robbie in the fact that they're going to alienate some people. Because, I mean, what do people that watch NASCAR do? Then I know this firsthand because I work with some of them. They go there in their camper and they get drunk all weekend and they yell at stock cars. I mean,
Yeah.
do you want... And that's fine if that's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But, I mean, Do you want to have a fucking tablet out where you've got a list of names and numbers and shit that's moving around, and you got to figure out where everybody landed at the end of one quarter?
Not when I'm drunk.
Try to figure that's not the point of NASCAR. NASCAR is like a party with some racing in it, or a lot of racing, and then that people get really into like the fantasy sports thing. That's like a whole different mindset and level of attention than NASCAR is.
Yeah, like I missed.
It's a different audience.
I missed the last 2 Formula One races on my fantasy Grand Prix because I kind of forgot it was a thing.
I have not missed a Grand Prix yet. I have woken up at 3 a.m. I've watched it beginning to end. I have not missed a race this year. I will probably miss Monaco because I will be at the lake, and they don't have cable or internet.
I have
I'm not
only
going to the lake with you.
watched Formula D this year.
I have not watched Formula D.
It's very interesting. I'm into it. Zach got me into it.
I get it. I'm not questioning that at
Oh,
all.
okay.
Yeah,
I've
gotten way into Formula One.
I got Motor Trend on demand so I could watch my sports car racing live, and they haven't had any of it.
You haven't had any of what?
The sports car racing I watched, Continental or
Yeah.
Pirelli World Challenge.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the last race. Wasn't on Motor Trend on demand.
What?
Which is the reason I paid $5 a month for it.
What's the deal with that?
I don't know. I'm kind of mad about
You
it.
better write a letter.
But
Find Finnegan.
yeah,
Send him a note.
just message him on Instagram.
Fair
He'll answer.
Hey, dude, got a question for you.
Bro.
Motor Trend on Demand. What the fuck?
Why is it PWC on Motor Trend? He'll be
This
like,
is ridiculous. Who the fuck is this?
Is that Roadkill affiliated? I'm not following.
Why are you asking me these questions?
Beat it, nerd.
Yeah, that's what I'll say to you. That's it. NASCAR is weird. What's next?
Go Formula One. They're adding drone nets and drone net guns to Silverstone Raceway because they think terrorists are going to attack.
Who thinks
allegedly?
terrorists? Who thinks terrorists, Robbie?
I don't know.
This is some hashtag bad journalism right
Yep.
here is what this is.
Is this fake news?
This is some fake news. These are alternative facts.
Alternative facts, people.
So basically what happened is the Silverstone said is putting a policy in place and has hired a company to, what do we want to say, control drones.
Yeah, it's like a
It's just
security,
that simple.
like a security.
Right. It's a
team.
security thing. Right, exactly. The Sun in the UK, which I think is like a tabloid, speculated
Exactly what it is.
that it's because ISIS is going to attack Silverstone during the Grand Prix with drones.
If that doesn't sell tabloids, I don't know.
I don't know.
It was a huge stretch because this stems from like they used drones to drop, or no, where was they dropped something like on a terror attack and killed like somebody, and then they were like, oh well, of course they're going to do it at the Grand Prix. There's people there, and then now it's stemmed into this whole. Well, then now we have the security team that has to take down these nets or these drones with these nets.
And then what happened is Jalopnik reported it, and the headline, I'll pull up the headline and tell you exactly what it says. This is when shit goes wrong. We're going to have no friends at any other
Burning
media
bridges
agency.
here, people.
But
Here
it
we
says,
go.
Formula One bosses reportedly fear ISIS bomber drones attacking Silverstone race.
That's not true.
What the article says, though.
No.
But it was some clickbaity
I was going to say,
clickbait.
well, you're going to click on that, though,
I
aren't
just clicked on it again, yeah.
Son of a gun, that's 2.
They got me.
They got you. They got 30 cents off of you.
So anyway, Jalopnik in the article says that they reached out to Silverstone, and not one official said that is why they were doing this. They said they were doing it because they have a heliport, which people fly in and out of all the time, and they have a policy for drones that says that they have to be approved by the racetrack, which is perfectly reasonable.
Yes.
Also,
Yeah, I don't want fans flying drones over my racetrack during a live race. That's a terrible idea. Because how many times have you seen a drone come falling out of the sky?
Like I have no question that they actually have net guns and
Exactly.
a team of people ready
Yep.
to take down drones. I don't question that at all. Sure.
But they're taking down the drone I control with
drone.
my iPhone because I'm trying to get a picture of
Yes.
Sebastian Vettel, not because I'm trying to drop bouncing betties on a crowd.
Yeah.
or because people can broadcast video from their drone to the internet and people can watch it. And what does that do? That doesn't allow Formula One to sell ad space.
Yeah.
It's not a complicated.
I mean,
Let's not make it any more
there's a
difficult.
long list of reasons why you'd want
Right.
to prevent that.
I'd just be more worried about one dropping under the middle of a racetrack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very,
of
very
course.
true.
Anything
very,
else,
very true.
frankly.
Or a helicopter coming into contact with one. I'd rather not have a
No.
helicopter
Yeah,
blade.
we
in
don't
a
need
drone.
Lewis Hamilton to come flying in his helicopter and get taken out by a drone.
I'm
He's
sure.
got a plane. It's like painted red.
Yeah, but I'm sure. But he lands his plane at the airport and gets
Then
in
they
his
get a
helicopter to the racetrack.
Come over. People helicopter, but fans helicopter in and out too.
Yeah,
That's pretty common, which doesn't happen at NASCAR. I'll be honest with you. It probably does.
I bet it does.
It does at IndyCar here in Des Moines.
It does.
It has its own airport.
I think that's just
It's owners and shit.
that was
but-
just a decision. Let's build this next to the airport.
Well, it's quite convenient for the owners that fly in and out of the race.
Right.
before
Well,
it starts.
who was the guy that helped design that track?
I don't remember.
He was a NASCAR racer. I can't remember.
God, he's
Oh.
done a couple of them.
It's not Randy. What the fuck is his
I
name?
can't
Is
remember.
Rusty Wallace? 'Cause
Rusty
that's the name
Wallace.
of the
Thank
street
you.
it's on?
Yep,
Rusty
it's Rusty
Wallace
Wallace.
Way?
He would fly in and out of there when they were designing it.
IndyCar
He'd
used
fly
to
in and
have
out all the time.
IndyCar used to have a plane, and they would fly celebrities to races with it.
Oh, well, yeah. Like as soon as the race was over, it was just like one after another of those
Helicopters and
those,
planes and
like,
shit
G6s and stuff.
Yep. Even in Podunk, Iowa.
Oh, yeah?
Newton.
Well, I mean, they're not going to drive in Podunk, Iowa. Are you,
Not in that traffic. Are you,
kidding me?
Cows? What the fuck?
Yeah, there's like corn and shit like all
Yeah,
over the
it's
place.
not even
The
fun.
highway is straight. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know,
Anyway,
that's all I got.
don't
I mean,
don't make fake news.
No.
That's all I'm
ISIS.
saying. Clickbaity.
They're
I
gonna
did
take
see.
over.
I did see that Facebook is instigating policy changes where they're going to start filtering headlines for clickbait.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah.
They're cracking down on that fake news thing.
Yeah,
They
people
took
are-
a lot of
people are
shit.
getting
I
sick of being lied to.
I don't think that something like this will get taken out. Like the Dodge Charger thing probably will, but this is not. It's not fake. It's just clickbaity. But how would they know that it is?
I don't know how. I don't know in this case how you would filter that particular.
You can
I don't
report
think
it.
that. I don't think that it probably doesn't generate enough traffic for Facebook to notice.
Yeah, probably.
The thing that they were concerned about is like that they say things will shock you. Like I can't think of an example right now. Like this
yeah,
happened,
the
and
most
then what
shocking
happened?
thing
This
ever.
happened, and what happened next will shock you.
Yeah, that's hopefully that'll come to an end in the near future.
20 people tell you the shockingest thing they've ever seen working at a hotel.
Right, and then that shit's gonna stop. But there are websites devoted just to that, and then they sell Google ad revenue, and they have a lot of traffic.
Tons of traffic.
It's bullshit.
We're
Because
in the wrong business.
Yeah, I know. We're not programmers though,
We could
and we're not very good at clickbait.
No, we're not.
If we were, we could be doing app programming with Ross Bentley right now, though.
Oh, that's right. He was looking for
He was looking for an app
programmer.
programmer. So if you're an app programmer and you want to work with Ross Bentley,
Find him on Speed Secrets
'cause that'd be
everywhere.
sweet.
That would be cool. Wonder what he's doing.
I
He
don't
was
know,
not
but I
shy
wanna
about
be-
sharing that to
I'm
everybody.
all-
So
well, I mean that's a good way to find somebody.
it's true.
Hey, I need someone who's motorsports minded and knows how to program.
Boom. Somebody will be in.
When you got 20,000 followers on Facebook, you use them.
I'm just interested to see what he's going to do.
I know.
It's gonna be fun.
I'll download it for
Yep,
sure.
absolutely.
Word up. Is that it? Oh, you got to do your event thing. You got that prom ready to go?
Damn, I forgot about it.
Oh my goodness. So, June 9,
Yep.
Gingerman Raceway,
Yep. Grid Life.
Grid Life,
Meet and greet.
meet and greet, June 3rd,
3rd, 5 p.m. West Des Moines.
West Des Moines, Iowa.
All right. Well, so the 27th, there's a Cars and Coffee at the Starbucks in front of Merle Hay.
Okay.
That is the group, not the page. Bringing
Okay.
that back again.
Yep.
That looks like about it for that weekend. So we might be there because we got nothing else going on that weekend.
Let's see
We'll
what
be
else.
at the lake, so
What else we got here?
Clemmy Mud Drags. That sounds fun. I'm on that.
What is that?
There's this little town called Clemmy, Iowa. It's kind of north of us, kind of up by Fort Dodge area.
Yep.
And somebody's private property has a giant mud pit, and people bring their lifted trucks with giant tires on them and drag race through the mud pit. That sounds awesome.
Interesting. I'm trying to find these O Drift. Not
They
very
don't have
organized.
it. They've not set
Oh,
up
here we
event
go.
pages,
So they've got
which is really annoying.
June 17th and 18th. I don't know what that means. Drift event.
What don't you know what that means about it?
2-day event.
Are they actually doing a 2-day
I
event?
think so, yeah. Saturday and Sunday, maybe.
Interesting.
Friday, Saturday?
I haven't seen
I
that
don't know what
before.
day that is.
July 29th, October 7th. I'm hoping.
Nothing in August or September. That's
Well, at least not. No, not
That's a
scheduled
bump,
anywhere. I guess we better go to the June one then, Robbie, because then you just got July, and then you got to wait till basically my birthday.
October is very hit or miss for motorsports weather.
Here.
in this part of the country.
So anyway,
Totally not car related. At
Yeah.
Prairie Meadows, they have wiener dog races on June 18.
Katie wants to go to that so bad. The one I want
can
to
you
go
say that
to.
one more time? Because I don't think I caught that the first time.
At Prairie Meadows.
Yep.
Casino and racetrack
Yep.
for horse races, typically.
Yep. Or llamas sometimes.
On June 18, wiener dog races. And
Okay.
on July 16,
Is that the ostriches?
camel, zebra, and ostrich races.
I want to go to that so bad.
I'm going to the camel and zebra ostrich
You know,
races.
We're going.
What's the date on the ostrich?
July
camel?
16.
It's
You know.
free.
You know what the problem. You know what the problem is.
No.
Do you know what the problem is though?
No.
There's no problem.
What's your problem?
Nobody's going to give a shit about the drifting. Everybody's going to be like, when are you guys going to upload footage
seriously, tell us about these wiener dog races.
Right, of the wiener dogs and the zebras. That's what this podcast has become, is other things that are not racing related with some racing stuff.
have never-
projected.
People come for cars and stay for ridiculous.
Stay
We
for
have
winners,
never
yeah,
claimed
exactly.
to be car experts.
Whoa, hey, careful.
We are not car experts.
No, we're an
not
entertainment
zebra
show.
experts either. We are an entertainment show.
So,
You
what's
speak for
entertaining?
yourself. I might be the foremost zebra expert. You don't
you're
even
right.
know.
I don't know that. This is the first time we talked about zebras. You could be the foremost zebra camel
not.
expert.
I'm not. But
You
I
could.
want to see. I want to see a man get on an ostrich's back and ride.
They
it
don't
around a
ride the
racetrack.
ostrich, do they?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yes,
they
do.
don't.
Yes, they
You
do.
gotta be kidding me.
No,
Really?
they have
Are you-
jockeys on ostriches.
Are you pulling up a picture of this right now?
I'm going to if I have
You
to.
gotta
This is
be
the greatest
shitting
thing
me.
ever. I want to see it so bad.
No.
Like that.
Boom!
no,
Look at that
you
shit.
gotta be shitting
No,
me.
dude.
They do. No.
Yes,
We are an all-inclusive racing show.
it's true. That's racing.
That's racing. I don't care if there's not a motor.
Put it on our calendar. Put it on there. I'll be there.
There's another one. Here's a man riding an ostrich.
It's free.
And another
You think
one.
I could get a media pass for that?
I don't know.
I don't see why not.
I need to
No,
be on
it's
the.
free.
But I
you
want to
wanna
be on the
on the
infield. I want to be on the infield shooting pictures,
Oh, that would be so funny.
dude. Could you imagine like a motiony kind of moving picture of a dude
man.
on an
Do
ostrich?
you have a long range lens?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
do.
does.
Because I have roof access to a building across the street that's 4 stories tall.
We could get a 400. We could get a 400 millimeter lens too. Lens rentals. There's rental
Sometimes
lens.
it's not what you know, it's who you know.
This
and
is
in this case, I know myself.
This is an hour and a half long show, and no one's going to remember any of it except this last, 2-minute thing.
They're gonna watch wiener dogs race.
Wiener dogs and ostriches?
bro.
Seriously, tell me about the... I can't even believe it. This is off the rails. We're done.
Katie's been begging me to go to that wiener dog
I'll be
race.
honest with you. I thought the ostrich races was June 16th. That's why I pulled it up. Had no idea about the wiener dogs.
Yeah, wiener
You
dogs.
just happened to find it as you
Happened to find it as I was looking.
Katie wants to go to that wiener dog race real bad.
Jeez.
I guess we're going. I
guess
know
we don't
what
have a
else we can
choice
do.
now.
Well, that's the 16th though.
Yeah,
isn't
that's a
it?
different day
That's
than the
June's-
ostrich and zebra and camel race.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys want to wrap this show
They
up?
do it every year, though.
I can't believe they do that every
The
year.
ostrich thing is annual. People ride ostriches.
Wonder where they come from.
I don't know.
Where do they get the zebras?
We could just go and ask questions.
Is there someone I could interview?
Why not?
That would be the worst show ever.
We don't have to interview
This is
them.
what it's come to.
We're 1010's
This is-
podcast. We're a car
this is
podcast.
sense-
We're here to talk to you about zebra
This is the
racing.
sensationalist bullshit that we do now. We claim to be
Clickbait.
real journalists.
Clickbait. Damn it.
We claim to be real journalists, and we interviewing an ostrich jockey.
Well, we don't have to actually have them on the show. We could just talk to a bunch of people and then tell about our experiences.
We could.
That's
I
why
guess,
people come to the show.
How about this? If people want us to go to the wiener dog and the zebra thing, they should send
You know
us
it's
a
free to
message.
get into those things, right?
Well, that's because they want people to come to the casino.
Well, that and you're supposed to, bet on
Bet
the
on it,
races.
yeah.
So spectating is free.
Well, I remember when they did Hot Import Nights in Minneapolis, it was the same night as they had a bunch of horse races at that casino, too. So you could watch their horse races when you got sick of the car show. Win-win.
I don't really. I mean, horse racing. I've seen dog racing and I've seen horse racing, and it's okay, but it's not something I'd want to do all the time. But I
No.
do want to see an ostrich race.
Absolutely.
And I assume they have a mini track for the wiener dogs because if they're going to put them all the way around, I'm out.
It's got to be. It's got to be like a straight.
Could
They
you
gotta let 'em
imagine
just run
like
the
betting
straight.
on that? You'd be like, "Well, we got 20 minutes. I'm just going to hang out and we'll just wait for him to get around here."
I've seen great.
Nobody get excited.
That's pretty cool. There's a much shorter track.
Yeah, I'd imagine. There's got to be like on the infield or something.
If you want us to go to that,
Inside.
if you want us to
It's
go
just
to
like
that,
inside,
comment on this week's post. I'm trying to get social media engagement.
I
There's
love
a
it.
Theory behind
Do
it.
it. Go
but I
for
just
it.
want to see if people actually want us to do this.
They do.
All right, that's it. Should
One
we
other
wrap
thing,
it up?
one other
No,
thing
you
I
got
want
one
to talk
more
about events real quick. because I feel like we should probably do this. When we know that at least one of us is going to an event, I'm going to start sharing it on our Facebook page so that people know we're there, because I've had lots of people ask us, hey, are you going to this? Are you going to that? So keep an eye on our Facebook page. I'll share the events that we know we're going to have at least one person at so that you guys know that we're there if you want to come hang out.
Can we share our racing this weekend? People won't hear it before then, but could we share it?
I
At least the
absolutely
Saturday
will.
and the Sunday?
I absolutely will.
Boom.
Huge.
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 This is what fame is, bro.
Huge.
Huge.
This is fame.
Huge. This is fame. Alternative facts. We'll catch you guys next week.
That's fine.
Robbie's the yeller on the show.
I'm the yeller.
He's the yeller.
I'm the interrupter and the yeller. That's me.
For sure.
Hold on. All right, it's back.
Check. It's good or it's bad?
It's back. Hold on.
You got
It's
both
back.
ears?
Now it's back.
You got snare in your headphones?
No.
You don't have any snare.
It's back, though.
It's back or it's gone?
We're good.
We're good? Okay.
I think.
Moving on.